So we'd like to say thank you to APSA, thank you to MTN, thank you to Petra, and thank you to Zonda Tech Ghana Limited. Join us for the roundtable discussion at 11 a.m. sharp right here on Channel 1 Television. We're going to have Salem Kalmoni, he's the managing director of Japan Motors. Eugene T. Samote is the Ghana Jet team lead. Jeffrey Opon-Pepra is the CEO of Volkswagen Ghana. And Professor Ebo Texan is an economist at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE. They are all going to be here for this roundtable discussion. So please do make a date, 11 a.m. Channel 1 Television. We'll see you, and we look forward to that interesting conversation that will be had. Now, talk about conversations. It's time to get into the World Cup conversations, where we get to, if you like, do a review of previous games and then do a preview of oncoming or upcoming games. Look at the teams that have already made it, those that are battling to make it, the standings for the best third place teams and what it looks like. And then, of course, we know we have another big one on Saturday against Croatia. What next after beating England? Adam Kai is here. The Kelvin, I strike with it too. I don't like it. So I don't
you like their lookout?
Yeah, maybe because I don't have an English name. So,
well, I mean, as I was going, so I just started to lean towards the Adam more.
Yeah, the Adam is, it's more guy. It's more guy. Yeah, but let's look at the fixtures. No, in fact, the games that have been played. In the third round of the group stage. Yeah. I don't know, but it's like the momentum, the enthusiasm has dwindled down. I kind of want to think it's because most teams have made it to the...
I mean, those who have qualified, when you're playing your final game, there's not really much incentive.
Exactly.
Some of them just want to maybe try it a few other players to see whether they can get something out of them when the need comes up in the knockout rounds. But I think even some of the teams that are out of the competition, like for example the Morocco-Haiti game, that was a game I really enjoyed, regardless of the fact that Haiti have crashed out of the competition. They didn't play a game.
Put their best foot forward.
Yeah, it was a really. They took the lead against Morocco, and Morocco had to fight back into the game, and it was a really, really nice encounter for a team that was knocked out. I was not expecting that type of performance. I was expecting them to
lay back
and let Morocco walk all over them, but they put up a really, really good performance. I think it was one of the most exciting games of last night. If you put all the games in perspective, because Haiti didn't really have.
At least they walk away with some pride and dignity.
Yeah, and the first goal he scored was a really nice goal. It was a cross into the box, and the attacker backheeled the ball into the back of the net. It was a really nice goal. Morocco had to do substitutions to get some guys off the bench to come and eventually win the game for them. So, on the balance of things, if you look at how Morocco has played in this tournament, I think they'll be disappointed that they couldn't top the group. Brazil ended up topping the group, but I'm still sure that they'll be happy that they've just managed to make it to the next round. Then the host nation, Canada, they played against.
So let's look at the group standing. So Brazil tops the group with 2 wins, 1 draw, 7 points, 7 goals, 4, and so the goal difference is 6.
Yeah, so they used the goal difference to top the group.
The group. Yeah. So Morocco also played 3, 1, 2, drew 1.
That was the game against Brazil.
But they had 6 goals. And then, so the difference is 3. So Brazil will top the group with a goal difference. Yes. Scotland, 1 win.
Yeah, but Scotland will still make it through because they are high up on the charts of the third place best team. So Scotland are still breathing in the competition because of that. So I don't think nothing surprising here in this group. I think almost everyone expected these two teams to be the strongest teams in the group. So I think this group went quite
as expected.
Went quite script. Brazil didn't really look too great at the beginning of the tournament, especially against Morocco. A lot of people felt like Morocco played a really good game, but
is it that Brazil didn't look good, or Morocco gave them a run for their money?
Morocco actually did give them a run for their money. I think they played much better in the second half, but they largely were relying on individual brilliance in that game. And I didn't feel like they started the competition the way they wanted to. But as the games continued, their big names started coming to the table. Vinicius Junior started picking up. He scored.
Yeah.
He scored
He scored
twice yesterday. He scored
yesterday,
twice yesterday,
yeah.
and it was a really good performance. Neymar also saw some minutes in the game
Hey,
yesterday.
that guy.
So yeah, I think they're trying to get him ready
Yeah.
for the knockouts round, because I feel like that's where he will be important for them. I feel
Exactly.
like with all the talk about his inclusion in the squad, his injury issues, and all of that, I think they expect him to be a difference maker in the knockouts rounds. I think if you look at how tight some of these games get, for example, you can look at the Ghana-England game.
Yeah.
If England had a player like Neymar within their ranks, who knows what the game could be like. He could probably create something out of nothing. So I think that's probably the reason Ancelotti has kept him around the squad. So I'm hoping to see what he will bring to the table during the knockouts.
It's interesting that you mentioned the Ghana-England game. Yesterday I had some conversations about the absence of the likes of Foden in that game and what difference they would have made.
I think every single English squad that is released, it's something that I've come to notice about the English and the media and everything surrounding their football. Almost every major tournament they go to, they will pick a team, then they will spend a lot of time speaking about players that they felt should have been in the team.
Right.
And I think this year is not any different. I think the form of Foden and Palmer didn't really help their case getting to the points where they were selecting the squads.
Exactly.
Chelsea didn't really have the best of seasons, and Foden too on an individual level didn't have one of the best of seasons for Man City. So pair those things, it really looks like, okay, it's fair that they are not in the squad. But some people argue that, like, when you're picking teams for tournaments, sometimes you have to look past those things. For example, the Neymar inclusion in the Brazil squad is exactly one of those things. I think there are players who, a lot of people were speaking about how João Pedro could have made it into the squad easily, because even though Chelsea didn't have a really great season, he on an individual level had a great season. But the talent of Neymar was trusted because they know what he can do when he comes onto the field. The talent of Neymar was trusted because they know the level he's played at before and the kind of big games he's played in, and the kind of moments he can deliver. So Palmer scored in the Euro final for England the last time around when they played Spain, and a lot of people felt like Palmer understands those kind of games. Palmer can do something in those kind of games.
He's the kind of guy who will live up to the moment. When you need him is when he shows up.
He had those big game moments in Chelsea. We've seen it a lot of times. So I think when you look at the kind of game the Ghana game was, you're expecting that there's some players in the English ranks who could do some of those things. Bellingham is usually the guy for them in those situations, but even in that game, Bellingham wasn't really having the best of days. So I kind of understand where some of those calls are coming from, but I think Tuchel can work with what he has. I think in the end, England will get past Panama easily, and we will have to see what we can do to get with Croatia. So on that count, I understand the English media, but
you know the English media and how they
they never let things rest. So and like host nation Canada, they played Switzerland yesterday. They lost the game, but they still managed to qualify as second in the group. So Switzerland topped that group, and was a really nice encounter. I think the Canadians can do well to really look at their finishing. I think it's been something that has worried them in the tournaments. In their opening game, I felt if their finishing was much better, they get the 3 points there, and they don't have to play second in this group. I think that's what affected their whole tournament so far. When you play second, it makes your path a bit more difficult, because most of the times the stronger teams in the tournament plays first, and you.
Okay, so who places first in Group A plays who in Group B?
I'm not too sure about that, because they've added another dimension of the round of 32.
The round of 32.
Some of this is not as laid up as it was
but
before.
But
previously, if
first place in Group A will place second place in Group B,
and like that, and tallies like that. So Canada placing second, I'm sure they'll be looking at their chances like, okay, maybe we can face a team that's a bit more difficult. But then, even if you watch the game yesterday, throughout the first half, Canada got the better chances. Jonathan David was all over the place missing chances. And Switzerland,
quite wasteful.
Switzerland, when the second half started, first opportunity that fell to them, Vargas put it away. They got another opportunity not too long, around the 53rd minute, put that away, so they were 2-0 up comfortably before Promise David of Union Saint-Gilloise. They have another David in their team. He came on to come and score a consolation goal, you see, for Canada.
But up until last night, Canada hadn't conceded a goal. in the tournament?
No, they conceded in their first game. Their first game was 1-1.
1-1.
Then they won their second game. The equipment boys of the group, Qatar have just been taking it from. They beat Qatar by 6. So this game was kind of like the decider for the group who finishes first, and Switzerland came on top. So all in all, I think the Canadians will be proud that they've been able to make it to the next stage. They are not really a strong footballing nation. So to put up this performance at the World Cup, and so far all the host nations are still in the tournament. And the last time we spoke about this, I was saying that it's really healthy for the tournament if you have some of the big nations and the host nations still present. Yeah, it keeps the vibe of the tournament alive. It keeps the stadiums packed because the home fans will still be going in there to try and see their heroes play. So all in all, I think it was a great game. Brazil too did their business against Scotland last night. It was,
but I mean before that, so Bosnia and Herzegovina looks good to progress.
Yeah, they are high up on the third place team, so they are safe for now. What happens is maybe Belgium are in there. They've not played. There are, I think, about 4 teams who can make it into the top 8. Bar Senegal, because Senegal are out of the competition because they lost their first 2 games. So some of today's games might maybe alter the table a little bit, so not be by too much, because most of the teams kind of know their fate as of now. Bosnia beats Qatar 3-1 to kind of secure.
Qatar, they actually just went for the lashing.
It's just surprising for me. Their coach is Julian Lopetegui, and I keep getting surprised at how he keeps falling into roles like that. He has had a number of roles where he didn't really last long and he gets fired, and that's, for the coaches, that's a handsome payday if you manage to go like that. But I think they will keep him. I think they'll keep him. Qatar look to want to build something like with football, and they don't really have the kind of quality most other nations have. So they keep investing in hopes that their investments will pay off eventually. So I think bringing him in is something maybe they're looking at like in a developmental pattern. So all in all, I think it was a hard-fought group. The stronger teams. I think nothing surprising here in this group for Switzerland and Canada progressing. Yeah, I think maybe Bosnia could have provided a little bit of a challenge.
I kind of had hopes for Bosnia.
But you see, some of their big names that they are
old.
Yeah, like Edin Dzeko. He's about 40 years old now, and he's one of the guys who carries a lot of their goals with him. So I think they'll probably maybe look to refresh the squad, and this is their first tournament in a long time too. So this team in particular, but Dzeko and some of the other senior guys, aren't guys who really know the World Cup territory. So it's kind of understandable. Qualifying as a third place best team, I'm sure they'll be comfortable with it. I think that path has given a lot of teams a lot of comfort. I
don't think it's made them also relax a bit more.
That's the conversation. But I think if you try and you can't make it, and that's your route to qualify, I think you just take it like that. Because if they had gotten more points on the board, he's better than that. If they had gotten more points on the board, I don't think they want to qualify. Qualifying as a third place best team is not the best. It means you might run into some serious trouble in a round of 32, depending on
some big
depending on who you're available to face. So I just think teams should take it as it comes. It's tournament football. As I always say, with tournament football, once you make it past the group stage and you are still in the competition, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, if you strategize well enough, you can make it far.
It's one game and one game only.
Yeah, we've seen teams make it deep into tournaments where they didn't necessarily win fixtures. They draw, take it to penalties and they progress. So I think teams will be comfortable. They are just present in a knockouts round. It just gives them a chance to see what they can do in the tournaments. So all in all, I think it's been a great third round. South Africa also beat South Korea yesterday. Yeah.
That was quite surprising. I don't know.
South Africa, if you've watched their games, I think because of the recent tensions on the continent, people aren't really the best of friends to most African nations at the moment. But I think if you watch their games, there has been a lot of good football. They just haven't really got on the end of a lot of their chances. Even yesterday, they were really wasteful in the first half, especially. I think if they took their chances in the first half, they cruised through the game comfortably. Because I think they were the much better team against Korea. But they wasted a lot of chances before finally they put the ball in the back of the net deep in the second half. And that ensure that they qualify. So that pushed South Korea to the third place team qualifying route. I'm sure South Africa will be happy. They came against the host nation in the first game, and it's not really easy to come against the host nation. You see, when you're playing the first game, almost all the odds are stacked against you. You are playing in the home stadium of the home nation, packed out stadium, and you have to almost in those kind of games, almost every 50 call goes to the home team. They weren't really lucky early on, so they got a red card after they conceded, and it really didn't help their game.
It was just a terrible opening game.
It was just one of those games you really just like to forget. But I think they've picked themselves up really decently, and they've done their business. They secured a draw late on in their game, their second game, and they managed to win against South Korea, who I feel are one of the teams that can't bother some people. They play really like fast-paced football, have really technical players, and can hurt you on their day. So to secure a win like that and not concede, I think not conceding helped their cause a lot. Because if it was a game where there were a lot of goals, it could have really gone against them in the end. But I think they did their job, and they'll be happy with the results so far. The host nation too kept on doing their thing. They beat Czechia by 3-0. So
I think Mexico has been brilliant.
I didn't expect this comprehensive a performance from them. I thought their group was tricky. I was expecting a lot more from the Asians, if you are being honest. Like, I think the Asians play some really good football, and their first game against Czechia, if you see the kind of goals they scored to come back and win the game, I was expecting them to take that confidence into the rest of the games. But
how prominent was Heung-min Son?
The first game they played against Czechia, I think the stage in his career is kind of showing now. He was very wasteful in the first game. If you watch the first half of the first game against Czechia, he had like 2 really big opportunities that he should have put away. And I don't think he's really imposed himself on this tournament like that. I think if teams like South Korea, when their better players are playing well, it kind of helps them more. I think if he had been at the party a bit more, it should have helped their chances. But all in all, qualifying as a third place best team, I don't think they'll be mad. But it just makes things a bit more tricky for them. I think South Africa will feel really proud because of all the energy surrounding them lately. It will probably be like, hey, you guys were hating on us anyway, but we got the win. But like, all in all, I think it's good for Africa's chances if African teams are performing well. I think this tournament has shown the strength of the African teams. From the kind of defensive displays Ghana have put up, from the kind of
Verdi.
I think I'll be rooting for them heavily.
They're like my team of the tournament.
I think same. I think no one gave them a chance, especially with the kind of opposition they were playing their first 2 games. They played Spain and Uruguay in their first 2 games, and no one thought they could get anything out of the games. But they played in their first game against Spain. You could tell they were a bit nervous, but they held their own. But in Uruguay, they showed that the confidence was really there, and they took the game to Uruguay when they needed to, and they got a point out of the game. So I'm sure they'll be fancying their chances against they'll play Saudi in their final game, and I'm sure they'll be fancying their chances in that game.
Awesome. Adam, thank you so much. It's been amazing talking to you, and we look forward to more interesting games.
We hope we can beat Croatia. That's the
we look forward to it. That's on Saturday the 27th in Philadelphia. We look forward to it. Who knows? Maybe I might fly over and do some 1 or 2 from Philadelphia. It's Philly, baby. It's Philly. Anyways, this morning we want to say happy birthday to Emmanuel Anum Osafo, also known as Nana Kofi Anum Osafo Kantanka. May this year bring you awesome blessings untold. May you continue to bask in the glory of the Lord. May you live to be 97.3 minimum, and of course, may your old age come with strength, health, and wealth. This is from your wife, your kids, your family, and from all the squad at Cabram Logistics, Saddam, AB, Listo, and of course from myself, Charlie Osafo. You're a big man. Happy birthday to you, and God bless you. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 Television. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This July, to step into a world where culture meets commerce, ideas turn into opportunities, and Made in Ghana takes the spotlight like never before. Welcome to the Northern Business Fair 2026. For 2 powerful days, the Jubilee Park will transform into a buzzing hub of creativity, innovation, and enterprise from the Savannah, Northern, Northeast, Upper East, and Upper West regions. From beautifully crafted products, innovative packaging, fast-growing local brands, and indigenous corporate bodies, every stand will tell a story of passion, resilience, and growth. This is not just a fair, it's a full experience. It's a place to discover, a place to connect, a place to grow. This is your chance to engage with Ghana's most exciting SMEs, startups, and homegrown brands all in one vibrant space. Dates Saturday 25th and Sunday 26th July 2026. Venue Jubilee Park, Tamale. Time 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Are you ready to showcase your business to the nation and beyond? Call 0205-973-973 now and secure your spot. Don't sit on the sidelines. Be part of the energy. Be part of the story. The Northern Business Fair 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from City FM, and it's proudly sponsored by EcoBank, the National Petroleum Authority, and the Ghana Export Promotion Authority.
Charlie, the Friday is set.
Let's get into the world of sports like never before. Join us every Friday at 7 p.m. on 97.3 City FM for Sports Panorama, your ultimate destination for all things sports. From the thrill of association football to the excitement of basketball, tennis, athletics, and even emerging sports, we cover it all. Whether it's the Premier League or the latest NBA showdown, we bring you the stories behind the stars.
If you are going to be given this kind of treatment, then you need to be that guy. When I look at him play, he is not it.
And don't miss the prayer of the rabbi. We're not just about the games, we're about the community.
Charlie, you two guys, we love you all, yeah. You guys be hard guys, because see, before we go sign in, we had almost
This is your song.
more than 200.
Or when it's time for Don't Call Me.
It's Don't Call Me time.
Tune in every Friday at 7 p.m. only on 97.3 City FM. Sports Panorama, where sports come alive. Sports Panorama, your weekly sports fix. Don't miss out on the action. Sports Panorama. Catch the excitement every Friday.
After JHS and SHS, life can be confusing. You have many questions. What courses to choose? Which school to attend? What pitfalls to avoid? But the biggest question is, what is your dream for your future? If you are a fresh SHS or JHS graduate, join us for Life After School 2026 and take the first step towards becoming the future you. You'll learn to set the right goals, build the right relationships, and develop the right mindset for success. It's happening right here at Praise Presby at Sherman Estate, Saturday, 4 July 2026, 8:30 a.m. And the best part is completely free, including refreshments.
Life After School 2026 is brought to you by the Junior Youth Ministry of the Praise Congregation of the Presbyterian Church at Sherman Estate in partnership with City FM, Channel 1 TV, PCJ TV, and Coca-Cola. Life After School 2026. Purpose, God, success.
Hello and welcome. Always grateful to have you join us here on Breakfast Daily live on Channel 1 Television. It's time for the news review segment where we get to have conversations around some topical issues And it's always exciting to extend an invitation to you to join us with your thoughts, your comments, and your contributions. You can make submissions on the submissions that will be made on the show by our guest. You can do so via text, send us a message through WhatsApp. The number is on your screens. We'll do our best to read them out on the show. Alternatively, go on YouTube or on Facebook. We're streaming live there, Channel 1 TV GH. We're streaming live there. You can join us on X as well as on Instagram, where we have some interesting posts. Please do well to go and engage those posts. And we've reserved some exclusive videos for you on TikTok. So do follow, subscribe, like, comment, share, and all the activities that you do on social media. Do some for us. All right. This is the news review segment. I have the Honorable Alhaji Fuseni Issa in studio with me, former member of Parliament, Okaikwe North. Alhaji, always good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Nana, but good morning to your viewers.
You're looking into the future.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can see the crystal ball. I mean, how media people have transmogrified into political actors. I should state that not too long ago I was watching the Ghana Movie Awards.
Okay.
And there was an observation made by a Nigerian co-host of the program. And in the introduction of the people at the event, he couldn't but observe that there are a lot of people from the creative arts now sort of shifting into the political and it's kind of I don't know whether it's healthy for us. I don't know whether it's not healthy, but that's where we are today. Let's see how it goes. We've seen some media personalities do the transition seamlessly. And
perhaps
so
if
looking into
the media work is more of advocacy. So perhaps if you do the advocacy after a while, you're convinced that, well, you can move into the policy implementation stage. So perhaps that is what may be driving some of our media colleagues into the political space.
But then again, does it not make these facets of our societies weaker? If we have, I mean, we have seen and that. For example, if you go to Parliament, I mean, Parliament is made up of Ghanaians from all walks of life. They are teachers, they are medical doctors, they are accountants, engineers, and that is how it's supposed to be. They are supposed to be a reflection. Oh, but you see, it is also the quantum and the sort of leadership of those, I mean, you know, how significant people, rather than stay there to make the sector or much stronger, they veer into politics and all of that. So maybe if that's where we want to go, why not? I mean,
but perhaps we can have this conversation another day, looking at the inputs they made. And maybe we can compare their work as media practitioners and when they went into politics.
Perhaps these are things that we should be looking at as a nation and discussing. Actually, I mean, it's an important thing that we should be addressing at this time. For me, right.
Yesterday, when I got the lineup of the program and I saw your name, I was wondering, you're not in the US for the World Cup?
Oh, it's interesting. I mean, for what we were told prior to the commencement of the tournament, that government was not going to sponsor Ghanaians at a cost of about $11,000 per participant to travel to the US to watch 3 games and come back, given that especially around this time when tournaments are being held in cities like we know, I mean, price hikes and so it's kind of an expensive venture. But contrary to that, if you go on social media, I have seen party foot soldiers praising specific MPs and all of that, and even on the floor of Parliament there has been allegations that for every member of the majority side, they have 3 slots for their constituency and 2 for themselves personally.
Allegations.
I am speaking to what I heard on the floor of Parliament, which is captured in the Hansard. And so, if we have 186, I think, majority members, times 5, alone, this is just what happened in Parliament. Outside of Parliament, I've seen significant government appointees. I've seen the Chief Justice, although I read somewhere that the Chief Justice went on a private visit and all of that. But you see, we are at different times now in this country where what the NDC spoke about in opposition is a stark different from what they are practicing.
Really?
I mean, I'm seeing significant government appointees, some of parastatals. I don't want to personalize this, so I'm not going to mention names.
Right.
And the cost of going to watch this, I mean, contrary to what government had told us that they were going to provide tickets to Ghanaians residents in America, Canada, and Mexico to be able to go and support the Black Stars. I thought that made a lot of sense. But subsequent to what we are seeing, I think that at one point when the account is made, the Minister of Sports or whoever is in charge should be able to tell us how much it costs and who were there. Because we have seen, we have seen the people, and we have seen the people come on social media to specifically thank. And there's a particular Imam in Nima, Sheikh Fofana. I mean, he came on social media thanking Honorable Yusuf Jaja for providing, and he's not alone. Probably just for Yusuf Jaja, I've seen about 10 people, and he's the Deputy Minister for Tourism. And so there should be a link.
Have privately sponsored these people.
I mean, we are talking 11,000 per head, as the government itself came out with the costing. So 11 times. I mean, with a very conservative estimate, 10 people, it's $110,000. So is the Deputy Minister coming to tell us how he was able to raise funding for this project? And this goes across the country. My own member of parliament is there with her husband. I've seen her in the 2 games that we have played.
They do not have the capacity to travel on their own.
I have not said so. I have not said so. But the person who made the provision, I mean, they are there, tickets and all. And this day and age, because the tickets are not bought like we will go to Accra Sports Stadium a while ago and buy. Even in Ghana, we do online ticketing. And so there are all traces to who paid for it, how.
So until
I think that we should be able to look into all of this.
Or certify.
We have seen similar things. I recollect, let's say, Free Ankara going to the Jamefe committee to cry based on the cost of a coconut, which was being sold for, I think it was about $100 or something. I mean, all around the World Cup thing. And so, look, the Black Stars are performing, we are all happy. But after the dust is settled, the account has been made. And what the NDC government, including the president, told us, we should actually get into the matters and see whether they lived by their word. But typical of them, I mean, they will tell us one thing and practice otherwise. And so I don't expect that what they told us is what they actually practice. But all said and done, I think Ghana is having a good tournament. Let's enjoy the moment. But when the dust settles, let's investigate the matters.
We need some accountability.
Oh, of course. I mean, that is what is going to promote this democratic governance of ours.
But at this point, it's just mere speculations and conjecture.
I don't want to remain let it remain a speculation because, contrary to, like I said, contrary to what we were told that no Ghanaians were going to be lifted from here Ghana at a cost of $11,000. I hope I'm right on that figure. $11,000 per head to watch 3 games in the U.S., Mexico, and ground transportation, accommodation, feeding, ticketing, and if you're not even careful, they give them some per diem for traveling. So at $11,000, is that a priority? Is that where we want to go? Is that what Atu is saying, that Atu is forcing? And so because he's forcing, we're going to take thousands. And let me also say that when we're playing England, the commentator around the 40th minute did say that the government of Ghana, the commentator, if you listen to commentary on Ghana against England, the commentator did say that the government of Ghana had airlifted thousands of Ghanaians. Yes, if you listen, I mean, take your time around the 40th minute. Listen to the commentary.
I heard him speak about the team packing the bus like we packed trotro.
I also noticed. I also heard a trotro. I was listening, and so I heard a trotro. But he also said that the government of Ghana had airlifted thousands of Ghanaians to go and watch this.
But we can't take the commentator's word as
I am telling a reference. I am sure that before they get into their act, they do some research because they wouldn't. Else, how was he able to know our trust system and all of that? They have done some very good research, and so I think accountability will follow this tournament.
Very well. Very well. We will look forward to a good outcome for the Black Stars, and of course the accountability thereafter. But let's move into our first conversation for this morning. Her Ladyship, Justice Gertrude Saba Tokonu, challenged her removal as Chief Justice at the ECOWAS Court. Yesterday, the court dismissed the challenge. What do you make of this? Should this be the end of the road for her?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't think so, and I don't think that the ECOWAS court is the final say. There are other avenues open to her, but I will still maintain that the processes leading to, and her rights leading to the final decision was not fair, and that is what she is holding on to, and I think that, you see, when some of these things happen, it is not just as yes, it's done and dusted, so we should let it go. For posterity, for the sake of posterity, so that this does not happen again, we need to see this to its final conclusion. And I'm wondering, because look, she may even go to the ICC and all of that. I mean, it is her right, and if she decides that, fine. But you see, it's becoming scary. And it will be scary when a regional court like the ECOWAS court, I am not too sure what the history is, but it is affirming a decision made by a certain government. And
a certain government?
Of course, it is a decision of the NDC. I have said on this platform, said it elsewhere, and I'll still maintain that
to face the committee of her colleagues.
The NDC had told us in opposition. When the NDC was in opposition, they had told us that when they win power, if they want power, if they came into government, they were going to dismiss the Chief Justice. And that's exactly what they did.
A private citizen petitioned the president. The president, based on the dictates of the Constitution.
And you are not telling me that what I'm saying is not. There are key, including the sitting president and key members of the NDC, had told us in opposition that whenever they want power, they were going to dismiss the chief. So it's a predetermined thing. They had thought about it already. And so when they came into power, all they needed was to operationalize what they had decided already.
But we should go by this, then the EC chair should not be in position.
Oh, there have been attempts. There have been petitions.
Exactly.
And I don't know.
Just as there were petitions against
you recollect the deputy commissioner at the EC, Bosman
Asari.
Yeah, he said he's for him. He thinks that, look, this whole thing is just getting into realms that he will think that the EC shouldn't. And for that, he's giving up his position and going back to the lecture theater. Right. And so these are predetermined things that the NDC had told us. And so it is not surprising that when they came into government, they operationalized it. But like I'm saying, the ECOWAS court is not a finality. Justice Tokonu is still fighting for the processes that were applied. She's fighting for her rights and even the constitutionality of this whole thing. Right. And so it behoves upon her, upon ourselves, a system to ensure that we have a precedent that somebody can also use someday, down the line. And you see, this whole thing is not just about Justice Tokonu being dismissed as Chief Justice, like the NDC told us in opposition that they were going to do when they assumed power. They have done it. They told us they were going to do it, and they have done it. That's fine. That's fine. But posterity. Posterity. I won't sit here and say that when my party, the New Patriotic Party, comes into power, we are going to dismiss the EC boards. I want to do that. I will allow processes and to be fair, because everybody is entitled to a fair hearing and has rights.
If you were the president and you were petitioned in the manner in which John Mahama was petitioned, wouldn't you have acted on the petition?
You have to act on a petition, and it will go either way. When President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was in office, he received such petitions.
True.
He did not find it meritorious, and so he dismissed it.
Right.
President John Dramani Mahama, for what he said in opposition, found some merit in there. Justice Tokonu is saying, look, even with the processes that led to my dismissal, there were 1, 2, 3 petitions. Just after the first one, you take a decision, and that's it. Let's listen to the second and third one. No.
But if there is merit in the first one,
even her being the subject of the processes, even her rights to information leading to this was a problem. The venue that was selected was a problem. All of this culminated into her subsequent dismissal. That is where we are now. But you see, subsequent to that, a lot of things are happening. This led to, and a lot of commentators have linked it to the resignation of Justice Sophia Akuffo. Happened way back in September. Yeah. We didn't get to know until after 8 months. Why? Why? Because for me, sitting where I am and looking at and assessing the whole situation, there is a vacancy at the Council of State. And because the NDC government, looking at the former Chief Justice who are alive, per the provisions of the Constitution, they have decided that, look, no, we won't put him on there. So Justice Sophia Akuffo resigns in September. We don't even get to know it. We don't even get to know the reasons why she resigned. We don't even know the circumstances, but they are holding on to it. And from what I gleaned, from what I'm reading, her salary allowances are still being paid. Just to assume that, look, she is still in office waiting for the subsequent retirement of Justice Bafo-Boni.
So Bafo-Boni takes her place on the Council of State.
Just to make it looks like some game that is being played.
But isn't this you putting all this together?
Is it not fitting in? Does it not make sense to you?
No, it is a picture you want.
It is not a picture I'm painting. It is the reality of it.
Really?
It is the reality of it. Because what held the resignation of Justice Sophia Akuffo? What held it?
We do not know the conversations that are going on in there or at the top.
No. The president has a right to select amongst living chief justices, among living, I think, CDSs, among living IGPs. And he settled on a particular former chief justice.
But the president also reserves the right to accept a resignation or otherwise.
You cannot force somebody to serve when the person decides that I cannot serve, or because of 1, 2, 3 reasons I am unable to. You cannot force me to come to this studio. If I wake up this morning and I felt that I didn't have to come. Right? So you cannot tell me that the president reserves the right to accept or deny.
But he does.
I heard the communications and the Minister of State in charge of communication and the president say that they had to go back to do some consultation, find reasons and all of that. But are you telling me that from September to June, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, it's taken 9 months for us to get here? Why?
Consultations is a process, not an event.
There is a vacancy on the Council of State, and the seat is waiting
for
the retirement of Justice Bafo-Boni. Justice Bafo-Boni, look at the way the current Chief Justice has held himself. I saw him in America.
And is there a problem? The Chief Justice cannot travel?
I have not said so.
Well, let me say good morning to the Honorable Nilante Van der Poel.
I have not said so. But you see,
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
This led to, a statement had to be released to tell us that he is on leave. His visit to the World Cup is private and all. Was it necessary?
If he had gone there, not based on all the rumors that was being spun?
Look. The current Chief Justice, I am privy to the fact that he is a lover of football. I know he supports Liverpool, right? He is a lover of the game. But if the Chief Justice had gone to watch the World Cup, or probably even happens to be in the US at the time the World Cup is being played, and he decides to go visit the national team to encourage them, it's all well and good. But in the tow of the Vice President, this is a Chief Justice where we see him in tow of political actors, and that is dangerous. Not too long ago, me personally, I even had issues with some of the funerals he attends in this country.
Really?
Serious, I do.
How so?
How so? Because look, when you are the Chief Justice, even a member of the Supreme Court, if you are the Supreme Court, there are things you are supposed to do in public and things that you are not supposed to do, because you are the ultimate person who adjudicates.
But
when
we
people
know
have
the
this
relationship he has
so
with the
when we
deceased or
have
the family
Supreme
of the
Court
deceased.
judges or the Chief Justice always in tow of political actors, it is dangerous. That necessitated the release of that press statement to allay our fears that, or to supposedly allay our fears that he is there on a private visit and the cost is being borne by him and all of that.
A letter was written to him, so that statement
fair.
was in response to that letter.
That's fair. That's fair. But you see, for us to even create a situation that necessitates the release of those letters and press statements means that we are watching that space because of where we have come from. But I'll still maintain that the processes, the rights of Tokonu were trampled upon. The ECOWAS court, it is not the ultimate. She has other avenues that she can go to, and I will encourage her, because when these things happen, like I'm saying, look, it's a precedent now. Whatever happens tomorrow will be based on what transpired on this case. So it is all fair and good that these processes are happening.
Very well.
But then again, let's not forget that the NDC told us in opposition that when they came into power, they were going to get rid of the Chief Justice. They came into power and they've gotten rid of
Have they breached any constitution?
That is what we keep saying, that look, that you can follow the provisions of the Constitution, but we are saying that the processes, the procedures, even herself, the subject of the proceedings, her access to information was limited. She had to formally write to the president for her to know the reasons why she's the subject of those proceedings. When the
president actually made available the petition to her.
Before then, she had to write to the president for that petition to be made available to her.
And after we saw the petition all over.
Even before she wrote to the president to be provided with that information, we have read on social media what the content of, who released it. And is that the constitutional provision? No. There is a reason why these proceedings had to be in camera. The selection of the venue itself and all. She had issues with all of this and they were not addressed. The ECOWAS court had spoken. Fine, we have listened. But it is scary to think that a regional court will be sort of, I don't want to use the word rubber stamp. What sitting president, sitting governments of member states are doing. But look, I still maintain it is not the ultimate. If she wants to go to the ICC, I will support her with all that I can.
Well, we await the full details of the reasoning of the regional court. Then we can understand really what the details are. But for now, we know that the court has dismissed the challenge or the suit challenging the removal of the former CJ. Honorable Van der Poel, good morning.
Good morning.
I was asking Honorable Issa earlier on why he's not in the US supporting the Black Stars.
Wow. Let me say thank you and good morning to our viewers and to my brother.
And good morning.
I'm surprised this morning he has become an embodiment of mischief and propaganda.
That's coming from my incoming chairman of the NDC.
I don't know him.
Resigned from
Drip, yes.
I don't know him
go and
to
contest.
Yeah, well, we actually broke that story.
I've also heard that General Mosquito is not contesting anymore for the chairmanship.
He has served the party.
It means that it's all clear for Honorable Neil Antivan.
It's not an inheritance. It's not an inheritance that will be passed on.
But you see, I mean, we have seen him, and we know his contribution to the NDC. Right. In government, in parliament, at the seat of the presidency, within the executive, and we think that, well, I mean, he'll be a very good chairman in opposition. So when we win power, we want a chairman like him in opposition.
Maybe you can do some consultancy for.
Thank you for your unwarranted appreciation and commendation. But the issue is that when Husseini starts to commend you, then what it means is that
you wait for what next? A few moments later.
Anyway, thank you so much. Let me say this. I said it here in this very studio that Tokonu's path is much ado about nothing. Because no procedure, no process was abused in the whole course of that determination of that issue. the constitution was not breached. The constitutional provisions that give her the opportunity to appear before her peers and answer the issues pertained in the petitions were available to her. She had a counsel. She was not denied counsel. Her counsel requested for things that are not even, let me say, compulsory that she, or mandatory that she should be given. But she was given. President Mahama was magnanimous enough to make available to her the petition and the opportunity for her to prepare herself to appear before the panel. There's no law that compels President Mahama to give her a copy of the petition, but out of goodwill and respect for her, he did.
Yeah.
She was given the opportunity. She decided that she wanted to litigate with the panel as to where the venue, the place, and it's like an accused person asking the court that I don't want the case to be heard in this court. I want it to be heard in my bedroom. and that certainly was dismissed, and because it is never done anywhere. There's no jurisdiction. There's no jurisdiction where such an issue. And when it comes to issues about the confidentiality and everything is maintained. And so in that same doing, security of the panelists and you, the person appearing before the panel, everything also has to be ensured. And that's why the decision was taken that a venue that is one of the state's institutions should be used. As at the time, she had not been found guilty. She was still the Chief Justice at the time. And I said her security was important. That all were granted. And these, because no procedure, no process was abused, that's why the ECOWAS court found it expedient
but
to dismiss.
Could the venue have been considered when she raised issue with the history of the venue and its impact on her?
You see, when you have a case before the court, and assuming you've been to a court before, the circuit court, a particular circuit court, and you had traumatic times before the judge in that circuit court, that doesn't mean that you have the power to determine which other court you go to in the next case. You understand? So you don't have anybody, an accused person or somebody who has been petitioned against appearing before a judge or a judicial panel has no power to determine where he or she wants the case to be heard. That is the work of the judiciary.
But has a right to request.
You have the right to request, but your request can be rejected. But rejecting your request doesn't mean an abuse of the procedure or the process. It doesn't make the outcome of the proceedings illegitimate. You get me? And these things are law. And she said the law is the law. And so once no procedure was abused, no process was violated, right from that time, she should know, be a judge, she know that one of the recourses for which you can enter into appeals and review of cases is when the procedure and the processes were not followed. And in this process, you had all the chance and you had opportunity to do whatever you want to do. I think that, like Husseini said, she can decide to go to The Hague. That's her right. Nobody will refuse her that opportunity. She has the right to utilize it, but at the end of it all, what will it yield? Sometimes it's always better for you to close the case and look at what is there than for you to litigate when you know that this litigation will not end anywhere. It's waste of time and waste of your own resources.
No, I don't think she knows
but
that.
she has a lot. She has a lot, maybe. So she will continue to pursue.
You know?
If she hasn't got, she wouldn't pursue this path.
But
because
if she feels aggrieved.
No, all that she's fighting for is because she's going to lose her entitlements, because a Supreme Court judge and a Chief Justice will definitely have to retire on all her benefits. And that's what maybe she's worried about.
So per her removal, she's not entitled to those benefits.
Yes. So I think that's what she's fighting for, and not because of the fact that she thought that she was not treated fairly. Because I thought that she was given every opportunity to go through.
I gather that her portraits at the Supreme Court have been removed from the walls.
Yes. Yeah. You see, because the issue of her removal was not based on any other issue, but issue of moral, which is the prime condition for your appointment as a member of the Supreme Court. So when you violate that, it becomes difficult for your standing and your reputation and image as a Supreme Court judge to still be maintained. It's unfortunate that it happened, but I'm saying that I will not be wailing for her like Fuseni is doing, because I think she knew what she did. And her posture from there on has not presumed somebody who is remorseful, somebody who think that he could make. There are some people, there has been a lot of cases where behind the scenes moves were made.
She hasn't admitted to anything, so why do you expect remorse
That's
from
what I'm saying. But then all of us, you and I could read ABC and know that this is what she did wrong. It's only people like Fuseni who will not accept the fact that she did wrong. What they are saying is that she did. Fuseni and the rest have said she did wrong, but they thought that what she did does not merit.
I have not said she did wrong. I have not said she did.
They say that the petitions do not warrant her removal.
But there was a petition. She did something that led to the petition. But they thought that does not warrant to a removal. You are not the determinant.
Because it is not the first petition against her. I said, and it's on record that when Nana was president, there were petitions against her. He did not find any merit. And that is where it comes in that. Today, if the NDC and its appointees want us to think moral, they promised us when they were in opposition that when they came into government, they will remove the Chief Justice. And they have gone by.
Who said that?
The president himself.
Where?
There are videos
where?
about.
Where?
Videos about.
Where? Tell me where.
Videos about.
On which
I can
platform?
provide you.
The
I can
president
provide you
never
the videos.
said that. The president
There were
never.
appointees of the government today. Members of the government today
ask you who said that.
Told us that
Who said that? The ultimate decision lies with the president. He has not said anything anywhere.
Oh,
like
I
that.
say the ultimate decision now is with the president.
Yes.
And that is what we all know.
Yes.
That is
what I'm saying is that he has not said it anywhere. You are saying he said it. And I'm telling you, I'm challenging you that the fact that he has not said anything like that. He has not acted in any way.
You have proof of John Dramani Mahama
saying you that also give me a word that if I provide you, you will play the video.
Oh yes, why not?
Sure.
I'll be ready.
Sure.
We'll play the video.
We'll look for it.
I will reserve
a
my
video
position.
of John Mahama.
I have seen the video.
Saying that he will remove Chief Justice.
If you can prove
he had said that and
God.
And several.
If
several.
Nana, today on this platform, I'm telling you, if Fuseni provides that video where John Mahama said it anywhere, that when he came to power, he will remove the Chief Justice, I'm prepared to resign my intention from contesting the national elections.
That's a good challenge.
I've taken up the challenge. Over to you, Jola.
I have taken up the challenge.
John Mahama you and I know will not be that reckless and careless.
Perhaps
to
the John Mahama you know, the John Mahama I don't know. I cannot.
Never. But he's too experienced to say those things.
But what would you say to the likes of Hussein who think that perhaps the constitution may not have been breached, but the law had been weaponized against them?
You see, that is your opinion. That's your opinion. Was the law weaponized against Charlotte Osei? When you said it in opposition, that when you came to power, you will remove her. Was that the case? Was the law weaponized against Loretta Lamte? All these things are there. Precedents have been set. Some people said, but the law, Charlotte Osei is not like. Charlotte Osei was occupying a statutory position. The arbiter of peace in this country. You understand? The judiciary is there. But the position of the Electoral Commission is the most important to me, because the Electoral Commission is who will determine that we have a stable, peaceful, thriving democracy.
True.
So if you contrive to remove her in a very dubious and up to today,
did not contract to remove
the
Sharon
ghost
Michelle.
petitioners have not been known up to today.
Yes, because no, don't say they are ghosts. They are not ghosts.
How?
They know where the petition came internally from the EC.
From
From the EC. Of course, we all know.
You people know.
Of course, we
you know them.
It's
you know the
tried to-
petitioners.
it's public knowledge.
You know the people who signed.
It is public knowledge.
Where?
It is public knowledge.
Up to today.
It is public knowledge.
Oh, so you people
the
knew.
same petitions that
It is
corrections
public
have to be made on.
From you are bringing in another. No, you are bringing in
Nobody asked you a question. No, you are the one who said it.
You are saying no. You are not asking me about corrections. You
No,
are bringing in
you see-
another angle to
Zini,
those
I'm
petitions.
saying that, you see, as a country, we must all understand that we learn from things that happen to us as we grow. The important thing is that today, we know that when you are Chief Justice and you do this, this will be the consequence of that action. And now Husseini also went to the tangent. I don't know why they want to demonize the current Chief Justice.
Mafuboni.
I don't know.
They have concerns with his associations
No, you
in
see,
recent times.
Nana, a Chief Justice comes from a family. He is not somebody who was just sculpted from the skies and brought down to us. He is not like Sekejo Kofi. You understand? The Chief Justice is a human being. He grew up amongst us. Some people that families have celebrated. And so you don't say that as when he becomes a Chief Justice, that's the end of his life. He must not have a social life. He must not have his traditional life.
Let
He must not.
me just break it. You see, at the height of Italia 90, the World Cup, one of the global stars was Paul Gascoigne.
Yes.
Paul Gascoigne, the English player. Right after the World Cup, he was caught in a drink driving incident. He went to the court. And surprisingly, the court did not, the judge sitting on the case did not even know who Paul Gascoigne was. That is how judges are supposed to be.
This judge may not be a fan of football.
No, it is not just football. But in other jurisdictions,
Husseini.
Supreme Court judges, even newspapers,
Right.
even the media,
In this World Cup,
limited-
in this World Cup, this 2026 World Cup, Thomas Partey couldn't enter Canada.
Yeah.
He went to court. His lawyer said that irreparable damage. He may not have an opportunity to play the World Cup because he hasn't played previous World Cups. The judge reminded them that Thomas Partey had played 3 games at the previous World Cup.
I mean-
so this is a judge who follows the football or has done his research on
You
the
know-
person
you
appearing
know-
before
you
him.
know, Husseini,
You get it. So
Husseini,
it
let me
nullifies
say-
this.
let me-
There is
Husseini.
a case
Husseini.
in front of the judge.
Husseini.
He decides to
Husseini.
get into the history of the
Don't worry yourself. Let me finish.
Exactly. But I'm telling you what happened
I'm
in
saying
1990.
that. I'm saying that
That
this
is the
judge,
extent to which
this
judges
judge,
live. Very well.
this judge is an Akan who values his cultural and traditional systems.
Right.
And so no one can bar him from attending a funeral which he is connected with.
Very well.
You understand?
The Chief Justice-
His niece
He
is
went
bereaved.
to Mampohine's funeral.
Eh?
Nobody
And then
said
he went there.
So why is it that he goes to another funeral and there are concerns?
yes, because of the
He goes to
actors.
watch football. You are concerned. When
Because
I used
of
to
the
sit,
actors.
I used to sit at the
Because of the
stadium.
actors.
I used to sit at the stadium with Justice Eniyeboah.
Because of the actors.
Yeah, there's the when Eniyeboah was even sitting on a panel of the Ghana Football
But
Association
you know, he was even
disciplinary
playing
committee.
a calf situation.
So what are you talking about?
So
Right,
that
so
is
what
a
are you
line.
talking about? But
That is a line of
But
his
you
work.
yourself
That
said
is
that.
a line
You
of
can
his work.
testify to
Right.
the-
That is a line of his work.
is not.
But I'm saying
It
that
is his private
we have
work.
a Chief Justice today who goes to watch a football tournament and it is not just us seeing him on TV and the people.
The Chief Justice is first a
he is-
Ghanaian.
The
his
company
associates,
is-
the
is-
company he
why?
has, but it has necessitated the press release
see,
to
you see-
explain
you
to
see-
us
you see-
to
you see-
explain to us there that
Nana.
he is there in his private capacity and his
Citizens-
own
Husseini,
expense.
you are making a mistake.
It
I'm
makes-
very
no,
concerned.
no,
Husseini,
we are
Husseini,
getting to
Husseini,
levels.
you see-
We are someone
see-
has brought us to this
you see,
extent that
Husseini-
has necessitated
Husseini-
us
Very well.
getting those press releases.
Husseini is being blinded by his political partisanship because that ambassador's residence where you saw the Chief Justice, your other leaders of parliament were there.
No.
Your leaders of parliament were
At the
there.
residence
Who
of
were there?
I saw Jerry there.
Jerry
Yes, I saw what do you call him? Their ranking member on youth.
Jerry is not our Chief Justice.
You are making a mistake. I'm
Jerry
saying
is not our Chief Justice.
That's what you are talking about. Your people were there, but you didn't see them. You only saw him. And I'm telling with the vice president.
Jerry Ahmed is not
the
Do you think that? It's not the man. He is not the head of the judiciary. Jerry is a member of parliament.
Do you think
that not the head of the judiciary?
virtue of the office he holds, owing to the fact that the previous holder of the office, as you have established there, has been removed, if you like, primarily based on morals. The current holder of the office should be guided, especially with his associations and public appearances.
Which moral this thing has it offended? By going to a funeral?
There are concerns with the associations he
of
holds.
What? The
company in which he is seen.
You saw
and
him.
The frequency at which he is seen in those companies.
I saw Eni Yeboah at many functions, many funerals. I have sat with Eni Yeboah to eat before. You understand? So sitting with me, who was NDC at the time, makes Eni Yeboah an NDC member?
It does not.
I am not saying
you
that. I am not saying that he should associate himself.
No, you are saying you said the people
and the tone.
And I'm saying it many times. I have sat with Eni Yeboah sitting down like this, talking.
When the Chief Justice goes as an Ashanti,
Eni Yeboah's junior brother, one who comes in the left, Eni Yeboah was my mate at Legon. We played in the university team together. Samuel Eni Yeboah, he used to be a director of one of the district assemblies. When I visit Ashanti region at that time, when he was at Asante Achim Central, I go to him. Weekends, I go to their house. People saw me with Eni Yeboah. Yes. People saw me with Eni Yeboah. Does that make Eni Yeboah an NDC member? What are we talking about?
But you see, it did not necessitate
former Chief Justice. Former Chief Justice Georgina Wood is actually my auntie.
It did not necessitate.
You understand?
As
I go to her. I visit her.
Service releasing a press statement.
That because you posted the propaganda.
Rumors were right.
Because
people were going on the propaganda.
I don't know what
we have gotten to an extent where
they were setting an agenda, and that agenda needs to
be explained to us.
That agenda.
The Chief Justice is here. Big on his private.
An open letter was written to him. Same was published. Therefore,
yes, because
you don't go on the. Had the judicial service not replied,
result of where we have come from.
Had the judicial service not replied,
it's because of your mischief.
Because of your mischief,
and the judicial service felt they must abort your mischief.
It's an observation that I have made in the last couple of months that I am not comfortable with. Even before this matter.
Where lies your discomfort?
My discomfort is his association to political actors.
Who are?
His association to political actors.
And
venues where you see our Chief Justice, I am not comfortable with it. And I am sure that there are many of your viewers this morning who are also not.
For which reason a response was necessary?
Let's continue.
You know, he's talking like in a rural area somewhere where the magistrate has a residence, but the toilet was not working. So the magistrate had to go to the public toilet. And then somebody goes to say that, this magistrate, I wouldn't even appear before him because I saw him in the queue conversing with Asimesi at the public toilet.
That is not the case.
That is the case. That is the case. People are being myopic in this analysis. You want mischief.
Office
and so judicial service have to abort your mischief.
It's scary. It's scary. If it were not even just the Chief Justice, but even other Supreme Court judges, I did be worried.
The Chief Justice is a human being. It's a Ghanaian. He belongs to a family.
It's rather unfortunate
this Chief Justice was there when his own brother was put before the court and sentenced. You understand? He didn't interfere with it. He didn't interfere with it. You callously tried his brother and put him in jail.
When he was sentenced by a court of competent jurisdiction.
When Tokonu was,
and we are saying that
before a panel that has constitutional mandate
could have exhausted all avenues open to him. Who cares? I will support anybody who thinks that. Look, we are in a constitutional era. Gone were the days when you had your name on radio.
All like
to Gonja Barracks.
All like the unlike a situation where
I will support
unlike a situation where a whole attorney general will interfere with the proceedings in court. He didn't do that.
You see, when you make wild allegations like that.
Which wild allegation?
I am.
In the Atufosi case, the ambulance case.
Tell you, there are processes that are open to the current attorney general if he wants to take up the matter. I recollect that there were some petitions. In a pipeline towards that. Let us go that route. Let us go that route.
Let me take a few quick messages. This one from Kwablavi of Pokuasi Benghazi says, ECOWAS court dismissed Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu's case against the president because it doesn't hold anything good. Now, what can she do again to get her benefits? She has been deceived by the minority MPP. She should blame herself for rejecting the offer they gave her. Greetings to Honorable Saibu Suhini Al-Hassan, Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, and Honorable Nuhu Mohammed, Incoming Treasurer of Pokuase Trubu Constituency for NDC. Good morning, I am Eben from Kwabenya. A concerned Ghanaian wants to know when Minority Leader Honorable Afenyo will address the press on ECOWAS verdict on former CJ Tokonu. We are waiting to hear something or whether the ECOWAS also hates the former CJ. Greetings to Honorable Julius Debra, Honorable Peter Kwesi Mensah, Honorable MC Agbo of Ghana East. Okay. While political opponents claim that John Mahama promised to sack the Chief Justice during the 2024 election campaign, fact-checking organizations found no credible evidence or public recording of him making that specific pledge on the campaign trail. However, during his time in opposition, Mahama publicly criticized the judiciary, expressing lack of confidence in the judicial system and its perceived bias. This rhetoric led to political tension surrounding the judiciary, with figures in the opposition New Patriotic Party (NPP) later alleging that these criticisms signaled an intent to remove the Chief Justice. Okay. Why is the Honorable Hussaini interjecting Nilante when he's talking? Nana, kindly tell him to calm down and let the conversation flow. This is Kwame from Cape Coast. This one says, this one says, President Mahama said so when he met NDC party faithful in Akosombo, so Nilante should know. This is David.
NDC lawyers.
This is never true.
That conversation was around NDC lawyers positioning or preparing themselves to also take
it is never on the Chief Justice.
Interesting bit. Yeah. The NDC, everything they promised in opposition, they have done.
Really?
Appointments to the Supreme Court, appointment to the Court of Appeals, appointment to the High Court. They have executed all of that because they promised us that when they came. I recollect the president even admonishing the NDC Lawyers Association that they were going to overhaul the judiciary, and he's done it. He's done it.
But wouldn't you rather a president who keeps his word? Wouldn't you rather a president who keeps his word than one who fails promises?
I hope that the other ones that he also promised.
Work in progress.
Work in progress.
Yes.
I heard this morning that there was some incorporation for the Women's World Bank and all of that happening.
Yeah.
And 15 months into government. Oh, okay.
And so
we're here.
But you know all of this
we
is
are waiting for the 133.
Will you give me a time frame?
We're waiting for the 133. They say Sami Jenfi will go in the morning, Captain Smart will go in the afternoon. Some
institutions have already started. Some institutions have already started.
I also read a news.
Some institutions have already started.
The budget that was read last November promised 850,000 jobs. And 250,000 of those jobs were going to come from the tree crop, in fact, the palm tree Development Corporation. And I'm wondering what has happened. And I think that I will have to go back there to check what is transpired. We were told that the big push alone was going to generate 450,000 jobs. And we are in June. We are
the big push, do you know how many contracts? How many laborers are on the contract?
450,000 jobs. And then we're told the other recruitments about 20,000 jobs.
But have you done any assessment on the impact of
number one, you see, per the Public Financial Management Act, the minister will go back to Parliament in July to give us an update on the budget and any revisions.
So wait.
And I'm just itching.
Yes.
Next month, I'm going to hear the supposed forcing Minister of Finance, supposed forcing Minister of Finance go back to Parliament and give an update on the jobs that have been created and how the impact of policies on our daily living.
Be patient. Be patient. Be patient.
You Messi. Oh, Messi.
Right. Now the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC. Yeah, they've announced a proposed increase in utility tariffs, water and electricity from July 1. Guta is not happy with this. They're demanding that this proposed hike is halted because they don't think that the reasons for given, that is the CD dollar rate inflation, merits an increase. In fact, I have heard the minority say that if these are the reasons given by the PURC, then there should actually be a decrease and not an increase. Where do you stand on this, Honorable Hussein?
Oh, my thinking is that we cannot continue to be given same excuses for this tariff hikes as we did a while ago. I side with Guta and I side with the minority to the extent that today inflation is hovering around 3.7.
Yeah.
And the exchange rate today has moved from the 14 that the government inherited to about 12 as we speak today. And so if you look at the components on the cost of some of these tariffs, all the foreign tariffs, you need less CDs now to be able to meet those payments. And so you expect that because we are being told that our macro level is stable, some of this cost will actually come down. You need less CDs to be able to buy fuel to power our generating plants to be able to. All the foreign components that we need, you need less CDs. So if you put all of this together, you should expect prices to rather be falling and not rising. You see, the ordinary person or the ordinary Ghanaian, the proverbial ordinary Ghanaian, can only enjoy this supposed macroeconomic stability by experiencing reduction in cost of tariffs, reduction in food prices, reduction in transport fares, reduction in school fees. Those are the ways, and it has a direct impact on our cost of living. Today, Ghanaians are complaining that the cost of living is going up. I can show you a release from my kids' school telling me that from next month, school fees is going to go up by 15%. I will show you, I can show you the release on my phone. My kids' school is telling me that from next term, in September, school fees is going to go up by 15%. And then the Minister of Finance, my friend, Honorable Atufo Forsen, is telling me that we are experiencing a better economy. Our economy is growing. I just referenced job creation. I don't know where we are, and I don't believe that the promises that he gave in the budget in November is being met. But you are saying that I should budget until July. So I'll budget until July. The 133 that he promised, I don't know where they are. I'll budget until July. But the reality is that Ghanaians will experience any betterment in the state of our economy by reduction in food prices.
True.
Reduction in transport fares, reduction in school fees, and we are not experiencing that. So why and how can you convince me that in an improving economy, the cost of living is rather going high? Those are things that I cannot reconcile, and I am sure many of your viewers this morning are unable to reconcile as well. There has to be a disconnect somewhere, and I keep saying, and I've said it even on this platform, that look, the supposed macroeconomic stability that we are enjoying, it has no solid foundation, because you can decide to be sterilizing the economy, making sure that people do not even have cities. In fact, the reality of the situation is that if my preference is to wear, let's say, for want of a better, TM Lewin shirts, I need dollars to be able to import the TM Lewin shirts into Ghana. If I have CDs and I want to enjoy that luxury, then I can go. But if I don't even have the CDs to convert to dollars, I cannot wear TM Lewin shirts. And that does not necessarily mean that because I don't even have the CDs to convert to dollars to buy, the economy is better. No, the economy will be better if, for some reason, a brand like maybe Nalem is producing shirts to the extent that I now don't even have the taste for TM Louis. But because it's locally produced, creating jobs, using local content, I prefer Nalem shirts, and so I am going to buy local. I wouldn't have to even go demand the dollars, and so because the demand is low, the cost of the currency will be low. That is the reality. That is where we are getting better. But if you create that sort of artificial situation that I don't even have the cedis in the first place to even convert to dollars, it is not the reality, and it is not sustainable. That's what we are saying.
So working just one angle, supply and not demand.
That's one angle. That is what we are experiencing now. We are experiencing
reducing the purchasing power of the citizens.
That's it. Every night and then we see how much money the central bank has to mop through the system. Even the cost,
excess liquidity.
Even the cost, and it showed in the financial statement of the central bank how much it's costing for us to maintain inflation and our exchange rate at this rate. Meanwhile, we are a liberal economy.
Very well.
You see, people are being squeezed out. You don't even have the cedis in the first place to convert into dollars for you to put pressure on the dollar, and so the dollar will be maintained at where it is. I mean, that is it. And then they are sterilizing the money that should go into productive ventures, that should be available for businesses. And you see this increase in utility prices, it has a direct impact on our cost of living. Our cost of living, it has a direct impact on businesses.
True.
Job creation and all of that. But so you cannot go back to tell us that when inflation was in the ranges of 23, in the ranges of 54%, the reasons why we were increasing tariff prices is the same. When the currency was at 14 cedis to a dollar, the reasons why we're saying that inputs into generation of power it's gone up, and so we have to pay a bit more. It is not the same reasons.
The mathematics for you don't add up.
It does not. There is a disconnect. There is a disconnect, and that is what we keep saying, that the way this economy is being managed, we are seeing improved indicators, but in the reality, when you go to the market, the Ghanaians are not feeling the advantage because of rising cost of living.
Thank you.
This is the release from my kids' school telling me that school fees is going to go up by 15%. Those are the realities.
Thank you. Honorable, let me take a quick break here. We'll come back and then we'll hear from you on this proposed increase in utility tariffs. You can also send us your thoughts. We'll do our best to read it when we return.
I think most people need to know about oral cancer and oral cancer screening.
So oral cancers are deadly. They come late, which means by the time we're catching them, they're in grade 4 and we lose them. Best way to solve this is to catch them early, so we need to screen them more often. What do you guys do as hygienists?
So usually on the first visit, when our patients come in, we do a visual exam. So we'll palpate your neck, we'll check your lips, your tongue. We'll use a special light called an oral ID to detect abnormal tissues. We're looking for things like red patches, white patches that don't heal.
Normal. But I mean, by the time we realize it's too late. So once the oral ID picks it up, we may have to biopsy and make sure you are clear. And if it comes out good, fine, we're happy. If it doesn't, we start treatment very early.
Important that people are coming in at least every 6 months to get those things checked, especially since there are no symptoms. You may not know something's going on in your mouth until you come in for your dental visit.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 133 on DSTV.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey,
Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100-100-100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Catch all 104 matches from as little as 98 Ghana cedis only on GoTV.
Grateful that you stayed on with us. Welcome. We're having the news review segment on Breakfast Daily. The Honorable Alhaji Issa Hussein is here. The Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy is also here. We've moved into the conversation regarding the proposed hike in utility tariffs by the PURC.
Chairman, I think that should be really
incoming.
We want him in opposition.
But
I mean, opposition want him
now
to be
aspiring NDC chairman.
Aspirant, yeah.
So
in opposition, you'll be a very good party.
But you should know that me, when I took over the you people came nowhere near me. When I take over the party, you are finished.
So careful what you wish for. Ododo is a unique constituency, I must admit.
Right.
My time as the leader of the Greater Accra Caucus ensured that MPP had no leg in Greater Accra.
Very well.
I've even swallowed you.
But you were in Parliament when we won 21 out of the 30.
What,
in the 7th Parliament. When I was in Parliament, there were 21 out of 34. You were in Parliament. You were
I wasn't the leader of the caucus.
21
I wasn't the leader of the caucus at the time.
Let me take this few messages and then we'll come to you.
Yes, I was the leader. I was my earlier time in Parliament. Yes.
This one says, hi Nana, I don't know why we're even debating whether or not Mahama promised to remove the CJ. The man called the Supreme Court unanimous FC and clearly said that the court at the time was packed with MPP judges and that when he wins, he'll bring in NDC judges to balance the system.
And he has done that.
He won and the CJ is removed. What more explanation are we looking for?
Not just the CJ removed, he packed the Supreme Court.
He
packed the appeals court.
Let me finish the message. He says, an owl cried last night and a baby died in the morning. You figure it out.
You can link it up.
This is Aben from Tema. Baba from Dakuman says, for me, I like what is happening. NDC should never complain when the tables turn. Okay. Honorable Vanderpoy, the issue of utility tariffs.
Nobody in this country would want us to have high utility tariffs. Nobody will be happy or appreciate hike in utility tariffs.
But there are those who actually want it, arguing that we are not paying the right amount for what we consume.
It has always been argument of people who look at what we pay and arguing that subsidizing cost of utility is not a good way to run an economy.
Exactly.
People who believe in efficiency in the economy always argue that point. And you all know, me and you, with a little education, if any city here know that if you want to have an efficient system, your cost of production must at least be level with your revenue generation.
Right.
So you can't continue to be producing at a high cost and then your revenue you always run at a deficit.
Exactly.
That will not be efficiency. Fuseni knows. He comes from that sector. He knows.
Yeah.
It is only in this country where we have always thought that subsidizing the cost of utilities is the best way to run an economy. We've said that and we've argued. Fuseni and I, as students, have gone on demonstrations against situations where we think that government should as they say in Akan, also ya sinemu kakra. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes, because we've depended on this policy of a social democratic economy all this while. They, who said they are the outright rights, now have panned to the center where they think that the citizen must be supported in terms of his own socio-economic development. They, the capitalists, also believe that.
No, just a quick. You see, the capitalists, we are not an extreme right. No,
I've not said we are extreme
center
right. I say
I've
not said you are
today. Even in a model, in our belief, property owning democracy, you can say, you can define it whatever. It provides for social sustenance.
Thank you.
So those who fall through the net are taken care
That's
of.
what
that's what I'm alluding to. So I'm saying that
we are not extreme. You have lost the essence of your socialism or
we have never.
Center left.
We have never been.
Given the number of government appointees I'm seeing in the United States watching football, I shudder to think that are socialists or champagne sipping socialists, as they want us to.
Anyway, I'm happy they are also there. I'm happy that now you talk about government officials, but you didn't talk about them of opposition members. I was in parliament yesterday. Many of your people are in.
That's why you get it wrong.
Even your former running mate is there enjoying.
That's why you get it wrong.
Your former running mate is enjoying.
That is why you got in. Yes, Napo today is in the US. He's a citizen. He's not in office.
But the Ghanaians who are there, they are not citizens.
To government resources.
But who told you that they went to government resources? Nobody went to government resources.
When we started the show,
And I'm telling you that.
Point out.
I'm telling you that.
If there's any proof to whether or not these appointees are there with government resources,
it doesn't need to be but even it doesn't. It has to be seen. Even a semblance, a notion. I'm saying the number of government appointees. My member of parliament. My member of parliament. I've seen her at all the games with her husband.
She's a member of the Youth and Sports Committee of Parliament.
That's what I keep saying it. That's what I keep saying.
She's a member of the Youth and Sports Committee of Parliament.
And I don't even know her committee.
Well, she is.
I don't know.
She sits on the committee of the Youth and Sports.
Oh, okay. So I presume that all the members and their spouses are.
When we're in Parliament,
afford to travel to the
US. When we're in Parliament,
I was never on the sports.
No, but you were a member of the Finance Committee. You had the privilege to go to IMF.
No, I've never been to IMF.
You went to World Bank.
I've never been.
Meeting.
I have never.
You went to World Bank meeting.
I'm telling you that I have never been to any of the IMF or World Bank.
You've actually led a delegation
on other missions.
Specifically,
we had to do parliamentary work.
Yes,
parliamentary work.
And what they are doing, the sports committee is doing is all parliamentary work.
Okay.
Subhanallah.
You see, so nobody will enjoy paying high tariffs, especially in the sort of economy we have. But two, let's all agree that our utilities have gone through a long system of decay, where injection into recapitalization has become very non-existent. And so it has become apparent that we need to take the drastic measure of saving our utilities from collapse. Certain measures were introduced. For example, the issue of, the legendary privatization.
Right.
What happened?
The
PDS under them all were meant to bring some efficiency to the system and reduce the cost of production. It is clear that in our economy, the cost of producing utilities have become more than the revenues that are generated by these utilities. And so the utilities are becoming inefficient because their costs cannot meet their revenue. And so always it has become a case that government have to inject money into running these utilities. Today, you and I agree that we are having serious problems with the production of water, potable water for households. You know, because of excessive galamsey operations. It has polluted our waters and it's become more expensive to produce water for us. So it becomes very difficult for these utilities to be able to efficiently produce. All that we need is to inject capital so that they can at least be able to produce the sort of utilities we are looking for. The same with electricity. All of us know the shortfalls Recently, the ECG has tried to up from the accounts they presented. They've improved upon their revenue collection. They improve upon their revenue generation. But still, they have deficiencies in the system, the overloads and the rest, which is making cost of production higher than the revenue. We all should agree that Rome was not built in a day. We can't all of a sudden within 18 months expect the government and the current management of these utilities to change and turn around miraculously this decay that have persisted over a period. Slowly, the PURC has brought in a proposal where they introduce quarterly adjustments to be able to break even with the cost of production and revenue generation, so that they don't collapse. And this is something we've all accepted, that there will be a quarterly adjustment. There are mechanisms for that. And what they have issued is a proposal. It is now for the committee that is being put in place for time now to look at the merits of the proposal and accept or dismiss. There have been cases where their proposals have been rejected. We've had so many instances where their proposals have been rejected. So don't jump the gun and think that, oh, utility tariffs. It's a proposal they've offered. When all of us have examined it, which includes some of our representatives, have examined it and found merit in the request for increment, it will be so. If it is not, it will be dismissed. Let's not think that they wantonly want this money because they want to turn around overnight. Even this, they told us, if, especially with water, they said that if we want very reliable services, then they will require almost about 1,000% in increment. And we all said, no, that will be too drastic. So let's do it in phases. The same with the ECG. I'm not happy. I'm going to pay high tariff if it is so accepted. All of us. But for us to enjoy that service, I would prefer to pay for efficiency than lack.
On the matter of efficiency, for a citizen who sits back and does a review of everything that is happening within the utility sector, there's concern. One, we're paying dollars to generate, and we are selling the product generated in cedis.
Yes.
Clearly, there's a deficit there.
Thank you.
We have losses. There's generation losses, there's transmission losses, there's distribution losses, hovering around 30%. PURC is a regulator that should be able to crack the whip on even ECG on the distribution end to reduce losses. We don't see that happening, but we always see proposals from ECG to PURC and implementation happening. So there's concern for the ordinary Ghanaian.
I'm happy you have raised this issue and you've ended with the ordinary Ghanaian. It's the ordinary Ghanaian, you and I, who are making it difficult for these utilities to be able to. Because Nana, you and I know the many of our comrades, colleagues, family members who are involved in illegal connections. Sometimes we, those who don't do it, also keep quiet and sing the chorus. You understand? Instead of helping to eliminate those deficiencies and losses, we encourage it by keeping quiet, by not reporting. I think that what we should know is that the utilities are also state institutions. And if all of us are so much interested in the development of this country and to enjoy the benefits of these utilities we have set up, then we must not encourage our own to abuse the system, take advantage of the system, because what we should understand is that in making somebody take advantage of the system, I will bear the burden. You get me? If we understand that responsibly, as responsible citizens of this country, when I encourage somebody to cheat the system, I will carry the burden of his cheating. And so stopping him will make me have a reliable service. Then we should do it. all of us hold it as a responsibility to make sure that these utility services on their own cannot check and police all these things. That we as corporate citizens should be interested in the sustainability and the efficiency of these institutions by discouraging our own from abusing the system and taking advantage thereof.
Right.
I am not happy that I'm going to pay more because I buy just as any other Ghanaian.
Exactly.
My poor family in the village there in Ada, that's the same. You understand? And so it is not something that we all happy. But I'm saying that for us to be able to have a reliable service all the time from these services, from these utility services, we must support the idea to be able to minimize the inefficiencies in the system and let me say, the pilfering of these utilities. It is not good enough. The system, yes, I agree that the utility system must also work on their efficiencies and make sure they reduce their own system. But the truth of the matter is that how much can they do on their own when we have numbered them 1 to 100? How much can they police it? Unless we get to a situation where the systems itself have the mechanism to reduce those stress on them.
We should be able to go digital and to monitor.
I'm happy. And that will also call for more injection of capital. And that capital is what they are demanding from you and I. That if we can give them more, they will inject more into the system and make the system efficient.
Finance Minister told us that the Doomsday levy generated 8.81 billion cedis.
Is it enough to change the system? Is it enough to pay the debt that we inherited from Fuseni and his people? Is it enough? So we are all doing. So we and I, as a corporate state, all of us, put our politics aside and sit down and look at what can we do in order to minimize the inefficiencies and reduce the costs of producing these utilities, so that all of us as corporate institutions will understand that this is where we are going, so that we stop playing politics with utilities and make sure that our utilities are real national assets that will deliver services to us.
Nana, you know, I'm amazed
at what?
At the approach of the NDC to some of these issues. NDC,
the approach of Neil
the NDC and its appointees. No, it's not you. I won't personalize this. NDC and its appointees in government, they speak as if they have never been in government before this, and they have never been in opposition. But you see, thankfully, we cannot forget the words they spoke in opposition. The current Minister of Energy, videos about
Dr. Jinapo.
When we, in the past, we have found reason to adjust utility prices, he had spoken as if the then president was a wicked person, and that's the attribution they have given to him. And videos abound. And so you would expect that he had been a deputy minister in the sector before. Even, in fact, at the time he was more or less the minister for a long time, because he didn't have a substantive minister, and he was in charge of power for a long time. And so when he was in opposition, you would have assumed that he knew that there was distribution losses, there was transmission losses, there were osmotic systems, but he spoke as if everything hinged on the performance of the currency, on inflation and all of that. I'm not saying that we should go back and pay him in his own coin, but such a person cannot double tongue us and today seem to find some new reasons why we should be paying more. My point is that when in a year you adjust wages by 10%, adjust wages by 10% in the budget, and so all the public servants, civil servants, they are getting a 10% increment in their salaries. Utilities alone go up in the regions of 30%. And you are telling us that the economy is much better. The economy is growing. So you expect that we are sharing the cake. And you see, when the economy is growing, when we are enjoying the stability, the supposed stability that we are made to believe, right? You expect that the benefits are shared to the citizenry. And so you will not be pushed in the corner where the cost of living is going high. It means that your quality of life is going low because prices are going up and your wages or your income is fixed.
Right.
And then you are also squeezed through the system. People have done contracts not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, people who have supplied goods and services to the education sector. They went to picket at the Ministry of Education. Some have been outstanding from 2024. And you're not paying.
When you were in
Businesses
power.
are going
When
down.
you were in power.
Yes, when we were in power.
When you were in
the
government.
government spent, and I know some of these things because look, I've seen some documentation. Somebody supplies goods to government in November 2024. He knows that it's going to take 2-3 months for him to be paid. A new government comes, and the first assumption is that all those who provided those goods and services are aligned to the other government, so I'm not going to pay. Businesses have collapsed as a result of that decision. Businesses have collapsed.
Yeah.
People have gone home hungry. People have lost jobs as a result of those
Were
decisions.
they people Ghanaians?
In the
who
normal
went-
course of their
who
life.
suffered the same thing
In the
from
normal course of
2017?
their,
From
you see,
2017.
there we go again.
That's what I'm
There we
saying.
go
Let's,
again.
as a country,
Somebody did it in 2016.
You see,
transition to
comparisons. What I
2017,
said,
and
what I
so
said,
we are going to do
what I
same. But you
said,
see, I'm sitting here this
what I
morning,
said, I'm
telling
saying
you
that,
you
I'm
are
saying
telling
that.
me that the economy is getting better.
I
you
said
are telling me
we
that the
should
economy is
put the
growing.
politics
You are
aside
telling me that the
and
currency
look
now
at
is
what
at 12
is
cedis to the dollar.
Yes.
And it's better
So per
than the
those
14
indicators,
cedis. So those indicators,
there should
I
be
do
a
not expect.
decrease and not an increase.
I do not expect to pay more for
How?
utilities.
How?
Because now the foreign components, the fuel that we use to power our generators, now it should be less expensive. You need less
The
cedis
generation
because
makes the cost of natural gas.
all of that. I said all the foreign components.
Right.
All the foreign components. Now you need less cedis.
What about
to
the
be able to
inefficiencies
get
in the
it
system?
done.
What about the inefficiencies in the system?
I am saying that
Have you put cost
there
to
are
them?
some advantages in there.
Have you put
Because
cost to
now
them? Have you
the
put cost to the
the
inefficiencies?
Look, the transmission losses and all of
yes.
that, they could be happening. It's not different from what was happening under the NPP. Right? Under the NPP. But the NPP kept telling you that because of the existing economic situations, because of the exchange rate, because of inflation, cost of inputs have gone up. And so we have to adjust to be able to sustain our system. Now you're telling me that the cost of production of power is gone down. The cost of power production is gone down. The cost of processing the water that runs through the tap to my house is gone down. But in the last couple of weeks, there is no water even running in my taps. There is no water running in my tap, so I have to resort to buy water in tankers. And it's the cost of living. It's going up. The quality is coming down. In a supposed economy that is improving, there is a disconnect, and that is where the argument has to go. Wage increments in the budget 10%. Utilities alone
Around 30%.
Around 30%. It has a direct impact on the cost of living. It has a direct impact on quality of life. That is what we are saying. In an economy that is supposed to be improving, in an economy that is supposed to be improving, this thing should not be happening. There is a disconnect. And whatever the finance minister is doing, it is not sustainable.
Right.
The indicators that he wants to show to us that he is doing and the supposed forcing to which he thinks that he has a claim to the presidency, it is not the reality. We should actually come to the ground and face the reality. Ordinary Ghanaians are not enjoying the supposed improvement in the economy because cost of food is going up. Transport fares is a problem.
The macro is not marrying the micro.
Utilities itself is also going up.
Honorable Vanapoy, on this matter of utilities, what respite is there for the consumer? Should it always fall on the consumer if we have to solve these inefficiencies?
You see, in as much as we don't have an inefficient production, and we're not having a system that will help us be able to marry our revenue generation with the cost of production, we'll continually have a problem of lack of balance within the list. And we should understand that if you want the best, you pay for it.
Yeah.
We must have that at the back of our minds. Nowhere in the world will you have free utility. If we can continue to support these utility services to reduce the cost of production, especially the let me say the stealing. You understand? we are corporate citizens, and we must understand that when we help our corporate institutions reduce the tendency of people to bypass the system and benefit thereof, the fallback is on us.
It's on us, right?
You understand?
Yeah.
We have a responsibility to protect the interest of our utilities as Ghanaians, because whether we like it or not, if I allow Fuseni here to bypass the system and benefit from the system,
I beg you are not bypassing the system.
automatically I will bear the cost.
True.
I will bear the cost.
So we should all
So
be
we should
whistleblowers.
all be part of the system in creating the efficiencies so that we can reduce the burden on ourselves.
Very well.
So I think that yes, nobody will want to enjoy paying high utilities,
Right.
but the fact still remains that the inefficiencies in the system are huge, and we should help the institutions to reduce them. By reducing them automatically, it will have a reflection on what we pay.
Right. Very well. Thank you, Honorable Vanderpoy. Thank you, Honorable Alhaji Issa Fuseni. This has been another interesting conversation on the news review segment on Breakfast Daily. Thank you to you also for staying with us throughout the show up until now, for your messages and all. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. Breakfast Daily hasn't ended. Wahab Abdul Razak and Dede Davis are standing by to walk you through your communities, spotlight some of the concerns in your communities, and then also highlight some of the achievements that have been made in your communities. We have a packed show all the way from now up until 11 a.m. And please do not forget, we have that roundtable discussion as part of the City Business Festival. Today, we are looking at the automotive assembly industry in Ghana, driving Ghana forward. At this point, I'll hand over to Wahab Abdul Razak and Dede Davis.
Thank you very much, Nana, for that in-depth discussion on the topics shaping our new cycle. Good morning to you and welcome to the second lap of the show. My name is Dede Davis.
And I am Wahab Abdul Razak.
Wahab, how has your week been so far?
It's been, very exciting. 2 days ago, Blasters made us happy with that match. Yes.
Even though we didn't score, I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, but me, I'm so happy with the goalless draw because it's actually propelling us to the next stage of.
But we need more goals because we need it ahead.
We do, but that was positive. It was good. Imagine if we had the unfortunate had happened. So it's good. So we hope.
So you think just defending and not scoring goals is good?
Not really. At that particular time, the goalless draw was okay. So yeah. It was fine. Let's just hope that they give us some goals. Maybe 2-0 against Croatia. Yeah.
We hope to see
That's
that.
possible.
Yeah, but I've had a good week so far. But there was something bothering me. There's something bothering me because it appears as though our trotro drivers are still charging exorbitant prices. For fares
during peak hours.
Peak hours. And so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was struggling to catch a bus to the house. And the ones I got, ordinarily, they would charge, say, 6 cedis from Achimota to Amasaman. But they charge more than the price, 10 cedis.
Guess what? This started getting to December last year, and January this year January it worsened. So the national security came in, government, they came in with some interventions and all that, and all these efforts seem to have proven futile.
It was a one-day show.
That is the thing. We are unable to progress with it to really get to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
That's really a problem.
Anyway, let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll delve into the show proper.
Welcome back to the show. It's always a pleasure coming your way. We are going to hold you from now to 10:30 today because the City Business Festival Roundtable is coming up at 11 a.m. sharp, so don't miss it. Talking about that, let's get into our reminders. And the last episode of the City Business Festival on air series is airing today at 10:30. And the 2026 City Business Festival has been a month-long festival seeking to equip entrepreneurs, small businesses, and corporate leaders with practical tools to drive growth, innovation, and long-term sustainability. Today's episode is on creative economy, monetizing content, culture, and talent. It's airing at 9 a.m. on City 97.3 FM and on Channel 1 Television at 10:30 a.m. And our resource person who is going to take over this conversation is Masmos Ametogo. He's a digital lead at Popot. So don't miss it. Tune into Channel 1 Television at 10:30 right after the show. But now you can tune into 97.3 City FM for that on-air series. And the on-air series is in partnership with ABSA and is sponsored by ABSA, MTN, Zondatel Ghana, Petra, and is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM. Still on the City Business Festival, today we are bringing you another roundtable to crown the whole City 2026 City Business Festival. So at 11:30, we'll bring you that roundtable, and today's theme is on driving Ghana forward. The state, 11 a.m. sharp on Channel 1 Television. Do not miss it. Today's theme is on driving Ghana forward, the state of the automotive assembly industry and its contribution to the economy. The theme is driving Ghana forward, the state of the automotive assembly industry and its contribution to the economy. 11 a.m. sharp. Do not miss it. We have a number of guests coming up on the show. We have Salam Kalamuni. He is Salam Kalamuni. There are 4 speakers, resource persons who are coming on board, well versed in this particular area, will come bring us that insightful conversation on the City Business Festival, the roundtable to crown the whole 2026 festival. So right as I mentioned earlier, it's sponsored by ABSA, MTN, Petra, and Zondatel Ghana. Dede, what do you have?
Well, I have Northern Business Fair, the second edition, scheduled for 25th to 26th of July 2026 at the Jubilee Park, Tamale, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. During this period, the venue will be transformed into a bustling commercial center where businesses across the northern sector and beyond will showcase their products and services to thousands, I'm not even exaggerating, thousands of prospective customers, partners, and investors. And so if you are a business out there, no matter how small you are, you can be part of the Northern Business Fair. Please call 020-973-973. I take it again, 0205-973-973. Again, 0205-973-973 to make your enquiries and register for the biggest Northern Business Fair. And then we have the Blanksons. The Blanksons is a Channel 1 TV production, an original production that was put together by us, and it's a Ghanaian family comedy drama series that airs on Channel 1 TV. The series explores the hilarious, chaotic, and relatable dynamics of a vibrant household, navigating everyday love, conflict, and ambition. It blends humor and drama to reflect everyday life. It's about love, conflict, ambition, and the unspoken tensions that exist in many homes. And so you can tune in every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. But unfortunately, the episode for today won't be airing due to the World Cup. But of course, the repeat days will still be running, and so do make a date with us on the repeat days. Fridays 11:30 a.m., Saturdays 7 p.m., Sundays 4:30 p.m., Tuesdays 3 p.m., and Wednesdays 5:30 p.m. Again, we sincerely apologize for our inability to bring you today's episode due to the World Cup, but of course you can catch the repeat days. We'd like to say a very big thank you to our amazing sponsors, Nasco Electronics, Lizishator, Out Insecticide Spray, Everpack, and Lily Rice. Again, Nasco, Lizishator, Out Insecticide Spray, Everpack, and Lily Rice. Thank you so much to our amazing sponsors for holding this Channel 1 TV production, The Blank Scenes, down. All right, up next is our social media trends. You're welcome back. Now let's get into what's trending on social media. All that is buzzing across the social media space. Talk of Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok. We'll bring you all that right here shortly. The first one is rather a sad one.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Venezuela earthquake, which has killed 32, more than 700 injured. Two powerful earthquakes have struck Venezuela near the capital Caracas, killing at least 32 people and injuring more than 700. The president, Delcy Rodriguez, says, and the first one was a magnitude of 7.2 quake, which was followed by 39 seconds later a stronger one, 7.5 magnitude quake, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, with witnesses reporting tremors in neighboring Colombia. Rodriguez declared a state of emergency, appointed a general to oversee the response as rescuers searched through the rubble for many feared trapped. The U.S. Geological Survey is saying that high casualties and extensive damage are probable and the disaster is likely widespread. So there you have it on your screen, the earthquake that happened in Venezuela in the early hours of this morning, which has killed 32 people and more than 700 injured. Wahab, that's a very sad one for us to wake up to this unfortunate news. I don't know.
Very sad, and you know, it's quite similar to what happened at Turkey about 3 years ago. Very, very unfortunate, which saw you know, Black Stars legend Christian Atsu.
May his soul rest in peace. Yeah.
Very, very sad. This particular 7.2 magnitude. It means it was that serious.
Yeah.
Very, very unfortunate. With 32
so
people.
The first one was actually 7.2, and then seconds later a 7.5 magnitude,
which is even
struck, which is
more than higher than the initial one. Very, very unfortunate there, and the 32. But now we can't even confirm whether that is the the entire
final number,
because I'm sure they are still on rescue
mission is still on,
get people out of the rubble. So very, very unfortunate.
Yeah,
very unfortunate.
Anyway, let's check out some comments on this unfortunate incident. Your babe is a boss. Okay, a week ago A 7.9 earthquake struck Davao, Philippines, and now another one has happened here. Moments like these remind us how powerful Mother Nature is. No matter how much power, wealth, or status someone has, they cannot control nature. Trishi 100 says, "Dear God, please give them strength." I'm so sorry to see this. It's sad. It's really sad. May God give them strength, the families that have been affected. X_Khalid says, got more questioning. Are these high-rise buildings safe? Very valid question. Very valid question. Dave Boardman .37 says, "Stay strong, Venezuela. Your people are amazing, and much love from Australia." Photograph Jan Step Turkey says, "Praying for Venezuela from Turkey." The previous comment spoke about the safety of high-rise buildings as to whether they're actually safe, or we should actually take a relook at them.
You see, today a lot of areas, right, geographically are not fit for high-rise buildings. There are a lot of factors that goes into it. Let's not go into the geography, but let's look at, for instance, Ghana. Around our airport, you know, the airport's residential areas, because of the flight movement, there you have a limit that you can go. That is fine. And let's move to around McCarthy Hill, Widger area. That particular place, according to Ghana Geological Survey, is earthquake-prone area.
Areas, yeah.
So you're not supposed to build, and even if you build, there are certain materials that you're required to use. So I think that's comments from the first the first guy is very valid. And also the issue about safety of these buildings, a lot of people cut waste. We know how much accommodation, you know, how flourishing accommodation is abroad. They just in one block you can have over 1,000 people living in it, you know, 1 unit, bedroom, blah. They are just there, private enterprise to make your profits, maximize your profits. So they do not, and interestingly, most of these landlords do not stay in such structures. They don't. They will just put out the building, give it out for rent, and very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's sad.
And the last one struck me. The last comment from Turkey, he's actually spoke from experience, I guess, sending prayers to the Venezuelan. Yes, very, very, very unfortunate. Yeah, but let's look at what again is trending.
Yeah. An ex-British Airways pilot has been jailed 8 years for allegedly raping a 12-year-old girl. Kwame Yeboah, 30 years, allegedly groomed the girl on Instagram starting late 2025, then defiled her 3 times and assaulted her once in Merseyside in February 2026. Liverpool Crown Court sentenced him yesterday to 8 years and 4 months in prison, plus lifelong sex offender registration and a 15-year restraining order. The former British Airways pilot, fired after his arrest, knew his real age from school details, prosecutors said, as police praised the victim's family for reporting the crimes. What do you make of this?
It was a good one from the family, not like our part of the world. You know, the family of the man will quickly go to that of the lady and plead, let's settle this at home. This is not one of those issues that we settle at home. The law enforcement agencies must have their way on it, look at the merit of the issue, and met out the necessary punishment so that it serves a deterrent to others. This is a typical case of extortion. I don't think he was actually grooming the girl for anything.
What do you think?
No. What's grooming? 12 years. And interestingly, the first
So when they first made contact, in their very first
she told
contact,
him she's 17.
She told him he's 17. Subsequent communication, she sent pictures of her in school uniform to the man. The man also shared certain intimate photos with the girl. And then throughout that, you know, they were building their rapport.
The initial conversation then comes in. What did he tell? Like, or what did he tell the young girl from the beginning that made her lie about her age? If really the intention, as reported, is to train the girl. I don't know if you're getting me. So the initial conversation they had, I don't think it was in any way related to the purported training of the young girl.
But
and you know, teenagers are very adventurous.
Yeah.
Very, very adventurous, and the unregulated nature of social media platforms, which are meant really for connection and meeting, is getting, you know, very bad. In Ghana here, we've had series of, you know, incidents like that, even with grown-ups. How much more a teenager, 12-year-old? Oh no, very, very bad. I commend the family for taking that bold step to report the incident.
I don't think families should shield the perpetrators. And I also think that parents should listen to their children more, because sometimes the child will be communicating, but the parent is not listening. And then at the end of the day, the child will be defiled and whatnot. So I think parents also have a responsibility to listen to the children more, because they may be communicating something, and if you're not listening, you would miss out on that. Secondly, the issue of social media. What was a 12-year-old child doing on social media?
That is the question.
What were you doing on social media?
That is the question.
So that goes back to the parents. How are we monitoring our children? What steps are we putting in place to shield these children from some of these things? I commend the family for speaking up, but then again, go the extra mile and monitor your children. Get to know what they are about. Recently, they say drug abuse is on the rise in our senior high schools. Parents should check. In our time, my mom, every weekend, she would come to your room and
inspect.
I tell you, she would search everywhere. Not that she doesn't trust you, but she has to check. Maybe you've gone to, you brought a schoolmate's property to the room and it shouldn't be there. But parents should take that responsibility and check get to know what your kids are about. Anyway, we have some comments on this.
Very unfortunate.
Maverick says, you are a pilot, got everything going well for you. Then you decide to defile a 12-year-old after grooming her. You took the time to talk to her for a while. Like, this is sickening. Absolutely sickening. Mostly Fallen says, this is the only victim we know about. There are likely many more we will never know about.
Absolutely. So, Rob Nova, that is the last comment on that. He says, need to raise the sentence for minors. Make it 25 years.
In fact, make it life in prison.
I agree with him.
Make it life in prison.
I agree with him, because
make it life in prison.
For you to go through this all years of training to, you know, become a pilot, like the prestige alone attached to your job, which kind of lady would you want that you will not get? I don't know what kind of pleasure would force you into such situation. Very bad.
It's bad. And I also think that nations should try as much as possible. I mean, some countries have started, UK, Australia, they are putting a ban on social media use for minors. I think we can also do same.
Yeah, I think it's something
let's ban social media use for minors. 12-year-old, you have no business on social media. You should be studying something else. You have no business on social media. And you know, he took advantage of her. In this instance,
they are so naive.
Yes. And in this situation, he is the adults
and
who
he should have known better.
But you decide to take advantage of this child whom you know doesn't know anything, she's naive and all of that. You drive miles away just to take advantage. How can you? I can't fathom. How can you be this wicked?
So from the onset, he knew what he wanted. But let's tilt our attention from there and check again what is trending on social media. And the Narcotics Control Commission has announced the arrest of lead shipper in the alleged, what's even, should I even say alleged? In the shipment of about 320 kilogram of worth of meth to Australia. It made news, a lot of headlines last week.
The UK actress was arrested and said it had gone through Ghana. And so yes, we encourage that there should be a follow-up on this and get the suspects
arrested.
And that has been done. And so they've arrested the Ghanaian suspect. It was done yesterday. And yeah, this is a 3-month operation which involved local intelligence agencies and international partners. Officials are working to dismantle a brother trafficking network in Australia. Charges already face the British actress and an Australian couple. So this is a good one.
It's good, but I'm still struggling to understand the kind of checks that went into that consignment before it finally left the shores of Ghana. Because I mean, for that quantum of meth to be found in those, no. I'm still struggling to understand.
Our Interior Minister, Honorable Muntaka, was speaking in an interview on one of our sister stations, and he said that is a challenge. It's been a challenge for them trying to detect some of these things. Is it that
we don't have the proper equipment?
Yeah.
Is it about...
So he mentioned that there are no screening equipment at the ports to use to detect some of these things. And so that has been one of the challenge they are experiencing. And on the brighter side, he said he pushed for the AG to, have the Supreme Court judge to have specialized courts for the Narcotics Control Commission, and then also pushed for the Attorney General to give that mandate to the Narcotics Control Commission to handle,
to prosecute
their own cases. And so far it's been going well, but the challenge, as you mentioned, is still there, and we hope they would come up with something. I mean, they should look into it and see how best we can detect these things at our ports and all of that.
Very, very unfortunate. Yeah.
So this statement says, would you do us the honors of reading the statement?
Right. So the statement was released by the Narcotics Control Commission yesterday. And it's titled Narcotic Arrest Key Suspects in $296 million Australian dollars linked meth haul. So the Narcotics Control Commission and the National Security Investigations Bureau have made the first arrest in an ongoing investigation into a 320 kilogram worth of methamphetamine shipment. The drug, which carry a street value of $296 million, were traced to a storage facility in Girraween, Australia in April 2026. The arrest is a significant breakthrough in unmasking the syndicate responsible for moving and diverting the record-breaking haul. NACOC investigators are currently working alongside international partners to track down remaining suspects believed to be part of a wider multi-jurisdictional network. This arrest marks a pivotal movement in a coordinated international effort to dismantle the sophisticated transactional syndicate. This development is a critical step in our ongoing mission to disrupt high-level narcotics trafficking. NACOC says the arrest provides a vital intelligence as they work to identify and apprehend additional members of this global criminal network. And the Commission says it remains committed to collaborating with international partners to safeguard the region from influence of large-scale trafficking organization. So they are saying further arrests are expected as intelligence-led operations intensify across multiple jurisdictions. And the statement is signed by the Acting Director of Public Affairs and International Relations of the Commission, Francis Opoku Amwa. That's from the statement that the Narcotics Control Commission released. But let's check what people are saying on social media on that. So Flame, he said, because he or she is a big figure, they will never mention their names. Meanwhile, Australia has done justice to their names. Well, we will, that's from Flame. More comments on that. Mr. J, just like the Gary story, no name, no picture. All right. Behold the man. Their deputy director said they arrested a businessman some time ago with drugs hidden in product to be exported. Nothing heard again. We don't know the name. We don't know the man. Today, another key suspect, no name again. Shaking my head. Oh, that's from Behold the Man there. Grace Unspeakable. He's saying, if this is the first arrest, then how many people are actually involved behind the scenes? He's asking the Narcotics Control Commission how many people are involved in this one.
Well, from the interview I watched, it appears that our Interior Minister, Honorable Muntaka, is at the helm of affairs. They are doing everything possible to crack down on these offenders. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. Definitely, of course, I believe they would let us know their names, as some of the comments are saying. So yeah, let's just keep our fingers crossed. Anyway, let's check out the video of the day. Lord has done.
Come and see what the Lord has done.
This week, we'll celebrate.
Oh, yes. We are not done.
Till.
We are not done. We are going to celebrate till, you know.
And you see what they are doing today, our Nigerian brother.
This bond between Ghana and Nigeria.
Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold.
Oh, yes. Very, very friendly there.
Like, hey, they are all come here, come and let's celebrate.
Come join us.
Of course. They are not in the competition, unfortunately, but I mean, you should. I saw another video where a social media content creator was bashing the referee on our behalf for not accepting that penalty.
Yes, I came across that on social media as well.
And then towards the end, he spoke some tree, and the comments under that post.
It was actually a genuine case made, because that particular point, At least they had to give it to us, but because of how defensive we were, you know. Yeah.
Oh, but that referee, we'll get him.
Oh, don't worry.
Oh, amazingly, VAR was, as the coach said, VAR has gone for coffee break.
Oh, yeah.
He's gone for coffee break anyway. That's what's trending on social media for you. Amazing stories, very sad ones, and whatnot. Up next is our community focus, where we delve into our communities and bring to light all that is happening in our community. Today on our community segment, we're traveling all the way to the Volta region. And what is the story there? The Volta Regional Hospital is grappling with blood shortage. And they say it is affecting effective response to emergency situations. Unacceptable. But let's check out this report filed by our Volta Regional correspondent, Desmond Selassie Ago, and when we return, we'll speak to him and other relevant authorities.
Authorities at the Volta Regional Hospital in Hokwe have raised concerns over recurring blood shortages, warning that the challenge could affect the facility's ability to respond swiftly to emergencies and other life-threatening conditions. According to the administrator of the Volta Regional Hospital, Divine Aki, the facility often struggles to secure adequate blood supplies, especially during periods of increased demand. Speaking during a visit by the Igbi Traditional Council to assure the hospital of its support towards blood donation initiatives, Mr. Aki highlighted the challenges confronting the blood bank and called for urgent intervention to strengthen blood collection efforts.
We'll be having these challenges, and sometimes we find it very difficult to store the blood at a quick note, the bank at a quick notice. Remember, bloods have expiry date of 35 days, so it is something that should be done constantly. And because we are regional hospital, our case loads when it comes to surgeries, especially the cesarean sections for mothers who are unable to deliver naturally and have to be taken through the theater services. Blood is very important. Blood be secured for them. And for equipment, yes, as a regional hospital, there are this equipment that we need. We have deficits. We are going through the system with all the stakeholders to have those equipment being provided to us for use.
He appealed to the Ministry of Health and other stakeholders to provide the hospital with a dedicated van to enable health officials to embark on regular outreach programs in communities and mobilize voluntary blood donors. Mr. Ake noted that such support will significantly improve access to blood and help save lives, particularly in emergency situations where timely transfusions are critical.
If we have more of the storage facility, more of the items that we need, and for us to go to the community, I think it's very important our stakeholders. You have said the stakeholders, not just the community here, from Ministry of Health to Ghana Health Service to NGOs, to assign a special pickup to the donation group so that they can enter any corner of the community to mobilize blood.
The paramount chief of the Igbi traditional area, Togbega Gabutu VII, also called on stakeholders to support the hospital with the necessary infrastructure and logistics to meet the growing healthcare demands of the population. He further urged members of the public to voluntarily donate blood to the hospital, stressing that regular blood donation remains essential in saving lives and ensuring the availability of blood for patients in need.
We are still insisting that the hospital is a death trap, that the hospital is in the ICU. So we are calling on the development partners to come and support, at least to uplift the standard of the hospital so that healthcare in the community or in the municipality will be fulfilled. If we are not able to, or if we cannot in immediate terms get the necessary infrastructures here, we can save lives. And how do we save lives? Through donation of blood. When we donate the blood, we are not only saving lives, but even it is good for our personal health.
blood shortage in this day and age is very worrying. It is worrying. I'm just imagining a situation where there's an emergency involving a pregnant woman or someone who has had an accident and needs blood transfusion, and they tell you there's blood shortage.
That's quite concerning because, you know, blood is one of the medical supplies that cannot be manufactured.
Yeah.
Unlike vaccines, unlike medicines and other medical supplies, blood, no, you can't get it. It's very, very worrying, like you mentioned. And it's very critical for patients like expectant mothers, you know, accident victims and all that. What happens if they get there and we don't have this readily available to intervene for them in that critical situation? What happens next is, you know, the loss of their life. Very, very worrying situation. And it's not interestingly, it's not the story of the Volta Regional Hospital alone, but across all health facilities in the country. The National Blood Service, you know, bank service, they always complain. But yeah, let's speak to Desmond Selassie Avo and get him. I'm sure when we get him, he will tell us how dire the situation is over there. And so I think
but
this
you know,
is
according to the World Health Organization, they recommend that at least 10 voluntary donors per 1,000 people. But currently in Ghana, we are only doing about 6. So it means there's a deficit. And why are people not donating blood? That's a concern that has also been raised.
I think there are a lot of misconceptions.
People are not donating blood like we used to. And then now most of those who are donating the blood are senior high school students. Yeah. During the World Blood Donor Day, that it was revealed that most of the people who are now donating the blood are senior high school students. So what happens to the rest
the older
of us?
folks?
Have you done blood donation before? Have you gone to donate blood before?
Oh yes, I have. I think the last time I did was about a year ago. Yeah, but I'll go do it. I'll try and go do it. You see, for me, I think the challenge with these blood shortages has to do with some misconception that people have about it. Over the years, people have accused the blood bank, you know, wrongly, that they sell the blood, blah, blah, blah. But they also come out and say, no, that is not the issue. But then if we get the blood, you know, and a patient needs it, the relative of the patient has to come and restore so that the next person that comes, we will get some readily available to attend to the person. So that is where the challenge is. And some also say they use it for all sort of things. When they donate, they will fall sick. And so I think proper education on that, on the need to get, you know, some of to get the blood in stock.
In stock, yeah.
It's very helpful. Imagine an accident patient, very quick, and the person is bleeding. We come and a relative has to come before we get blood for the person. No, before the relative even gets to that particular health facility, the unfortunate would have happened.
Anyway, we have Desmond Selassie Ago, our Volta regional correspondent, via Zoom. Hello, Desmond.
Yeah, hello, Dede. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Before we delve into the blood shortage, I remember earlier this year in March, you brought us a report pertaining to this regional hospital about their infrastructure challenges. You visited the hospital to file this report. Have you seen any improvements? Has there been any intervention when you visited?
All right, Dede, thank you. So in March, as you stated correctly, I was at the facility to look at how things were going on. Unfortunately, the situation was not in a good state or the facility was not in a good state. You could see some parts of the roofing being broken. So anytime it rains, it leaks. Some of the beds were not in good standing. They were in general lacking a whole lot of facility or things that will make them be the regional hospital that we envisage it to be. They've been really lacking a lot, or they are still lacking a lot. I went there about 2 weeks ago, and the situation is still the same. Nothing has improved at the facility. They are still in need of a lot, especially at the OPD, the wards, and other vital units at the hospital. So the situation is still like that, and no improvement has been made so far.
Now let's come back to the blood shortage. How often does the hospital experience this critical shortage?
All right, Dede. So according to the administrator of the facility, Divine Aki, who spoke to me, he made it known that they stored the blood for approximately some 30 days. So after 30 days, the stocked blood will have to be renewed. But here lies the case where they are not getting enough blood at the blood bank or at the blood unit. So this becomes a challenge, especially for women who are going through delivery and also emergency situations. And he made mention that it's been an issue that has been the facility has been facing for a very long time. And he made mention that people were not willing to donate blood, and also the facility or the hospital is not able to go on outreaches to stock blood at the facility. He made mention that they were not having a van to move out of the facility to go on such drives. So the challenge is very bad, or the situation is very bad, and they are calling on authorities to at least provide them with a van that they can use on outreaches to move around the region, most especially in the Hohwe municipality and also the neighboring districts in the region. So for now, the situation at the hospital concerning blood is a dire one, and if no efforts are made in the immediate days or coming days, this might escalate, given that the hospital is now a regional hospital.
Desmond, has there been any fatalities linked to the unavailability of the blood?
Okay, so with that, I have not received any confirmation from the authorities concerning that. But anything can happen in this situation. Mind you, the facility itself is not in good standing. So if the blood unit is also not in good standing, you can just imagine how situations will be there, and also the pressure that will be on the facility, the staff, and what have you at the hospital. So yes, the situation is very bad, not only with the blood unit, but the hospital in general.
So in the instance where a patient needs blood, now there's blood shortage, what happens?
So we are fortunate enough that the Hohwe Traditional Council is stepping in to help the situation, or to solve, at least to solve some parts of the situation. According to the paramount chief of the B Traditional Council, that's Togmega Gabutu the seventh, at least once every quarter, they will visit the hospital and donate some blood to them. So in the interim, that's the situation now, and we believe if this continues and also others join in this drive or this initiative, we will be seeing some improvements in that aspect. And another issue will be the expansion of the blood bank or the blood unit at the facility, because if institutions start coming in to donate, then there will be the need for expansion to stock this blood collected. And also the Gbili Traditional Council is also still doing its best to call on donors, to call on government stakeholders to come in and solve some situations at the hospital, since this is on their land. So they are, as landlords, have played a major role in making sure that the hospital is still standing on its feet. Maybe if not for them, the situation might have been a little worse than what we are seeing currently today.
So, Desmond, how many people is this facility, serving in the area?
All right,
how many communities?
Yes, this is a regional hospital, so it is serving almost all parts of the Volta region. But the good thing about this is we have two bigger hospitals in the whole township itself. That's the Volta Regional Capital. We have the whole teaching hospital, which is a much bigger hospital than the Hokwe or the Volta Regional Hospital in Hokwe. And in Ho also we have a municipal hospital. That's the Ho Municipal Hospital, which also takes care of some of the patients in this enclave. So most people don't move to Hokwe, but rather to this area. But for those in the Oti region, most of them come to Hokwe because that is the closest to them. And also those around the Afajato South, South Dai, North Dai, and some parts of Bando also comes to the Volta Regional Hospital in Hokwe. So in terms of numbers, I can't give a total number, but I can give you the geographic, so you see how big it is and how rich it is. So from parts of the Volta region all the way to the Oti region, and sometimes even up north, the northern part of the country, most people also tend to come from those sides to the Volta Regional Hospital in Hokwe.
Thank you very much, Desmond, for bringing us this report. Keep following up on events as they unfold in the coming days, and we'll be on standby for that. Wahab.
Very look at the number of people that this facility is serving, and first, it's not even the issue about blood alone. Infrastructure.
Yeah.
Since March, he found that troubling reports about the poor state of the facility, and up to date, nothing really has been done about it. It exposed the lack of responsibility and all that. Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyway, we have Togbe Boami the 9th. He's the divisional chief of Gbibla in Hohoe. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing well. Unfortunately, we don't have good news from the Volta region this morning.
Okay.
Well, the issue is on blood shortage at the Volta Regional Hospital. Has this come to your attention, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay. And how is this something that occurs often?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. The issue came to light when my paramount chief, Tomigan Gampusu the 7th, decided that we take a tour of the hospital, because we kept hearing news about shortages of many things, not just blood. And the hospital has been elevated the regional hospital status some few years ago. It appears that the elevation was only in name change and not in facility change. So the hospital in name is a Volta Regional Hospital, but then facility-wise, it lacks a lot of equipment that will make it to serve the people. So we'll be hearing of challenges within the hospital. We ourselves have been experiencing it because that is the facility we all use. So there was the need to visit and find out firsthand what was happening. After the tour, the unanimous judgment of the participants was that the hospital was a death trap because it was not serving the purpose it was meant to serve. And even at the point you see that some of the facilities are not even up to the standard that they should be for a healthcare facility called even a municipal hospital, let alone a regional hospital. So it is an issue that is known to everybody that we lack a lot of things at the hospital. Blood just being one of them.
Toby, the hospital is requesting for a dedicated vehicle to support the blood donation drives. In your capacity as a traditional leader, how are you going to help in making sure that they get vehicles for their blood donation drives?
Thank you very much. After the tour of the hospital, the paramount chief together with the other chiefs took a stand to start with the low-hanging fruits because we met a lot of challenges. So the blood donation exercise put in place and which will be continuing is one of the low-hanging fruits. The others are, for example, the transportation facility for the blood and other things, which we have plans to reach out to other donors and stakeholders within the Hohoe township and also outside. You notice Bank of Ghana has a branch in Hohoe. Their staff are in Hohoe. Whatever happens to any of their staff will first have to be settled or have to be catered for by the Hohoe Regional Hospital before even helicopters and other things will come from Accra. It will be very good for the Bank of Ghana, for example, to donate a transportation facility to the hospital. There are other things, other establishments within the Hohoe municipality could do to help. So we are putting thoughts together. We are reaching out to all the stakeholders, and we cannot say everything on air for now, but we hope our effort will yield positive results that will uplift the hospital and thereby uplifting the whole Hohoe municipality. Because when you look at Hohoe, is the biggest administrative center when you want to talk about the Eastern Corridor Road in the Volta region.
Right.
The whole Volta region, even the OT region, Hohoe is the biggest administrative center and the biggest commercial center on the Eastern Corridor Road, which means a lot of traffic passes there. That is why there is the need for all stakeholders, right from Accra to Tamale, to be interested in Hohoe because their lives pass through that road all the time and pass through Hohoe. So we are reaching out and we hope our efforts will yield results that will see an improvement at the Hohoe Regional Hospital.
Thank you very much, Toby. That's Toby Buam, the 9th. and he's a divisional chief of Wigbla in Hohoe. And we've been speaking about blood shortage in the Volta region. Wahab, aside blood shortage, they have infrastructure challenges. As I mentioned earlier, Desmond brought us that report in March. And I mean, government should do something about it.
From the report, some of the residents were saying the hospital has now become a death trap. And that is true, because if a facility that has been upgraded to a regional hospital level cannot you know, come in at critical junctures like that, then if not a death trap, I don't know how best again they can describe it. And it's very worrying, because I think it also boils down to scoring political points. If you heard the chief speak, he said they upgraded the hospital from a municipal or, you know, district level to regional 2 years ago. 2 years ago should be somewhere early 2024 and all that. What intervention, what was the plan for this upgrade, and why did the subsequent government did not come and continue? So it's all about politics.
Well,
politics.
That's what you think, but the health minister, Kobnamita Kando, please do something about this. The Volta Regional Hospital, to be precise. In March, there was a report that they have infrastructure challenges, and today we are hearing that there's blood shortage in the regional hospital. We don't want to wait for there to be fatalities before there's an intervention.
You take cameras around to...
Yes, this has gone on for a very long time. And so we plead with your outfit to take this up and follow it through and through, and let's get some tangible intervention for the Volta Regional Hospital. This has been the community segment. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the show continues.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, channel 134 on GoTV.
Every day, we make choices. Some big, some small.
What would you be doing today? I want this, or...
Every day, we make choices. And sometimes, choices that shape our hearts.
Hi.
Whether it's a long-term or short-term decision. The Lydia Ranger gives you the power to truly decide. With Lydia, you truly decide.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.eduparkgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPark, approved and supported by GES.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Doctor in the House right here on Channel 1 TV, and my name is Chris Carter. As you already know, this is the show I like to call the consultation before the main consultation. That is you going to the hospital. And also, I feel like this show is like a mini medical school where you get to learn everything about your health. You get to learn about different conditions. You even know how to manage some of the symptoms you're feeling. And also, most importantly, you know when it's time for you to go to the hospital. All right, not just watching, but you're also taking notes, and you just tell yourself, you know what, I think the doctor is saying, time for me to see a doctor, time for me to get into the hospital. Talking about doctors, so our doctor in the house today is Dr. Ebo Daniels, who is a medical director at Solace Hospital. And Solace Hospital is actually located at Trade Fair here in Accra. And he is a leading voice in preventive healthcare in Ghana, focused on shifting the mindset from treating illnesses to preventing it. And he also champions the Switch Health movement, switching from healthcare to preventive health, and also driving a national shift toward early detection and long-term wellness. And we've been having a series with him. So it's been him for about 3 weeks right now. Oh yeah, 3 weeks. And this is our 4th week. And we're still talking about, you know, preventive healthcare. And today we are going to be looking at a topic that affects every one of us. This is not just about the women, it's not about the men, it's not about children only, but this affects every one of us once in a lifetime, or even more than once in a lifetime, depending on how you are managing yourself and taking care of yourself. Remember, it's all about preventive health care. And now we are going to be looking at stress. Stress. How modern day stress is actually destroying human health. So definitely, you know, this actually concerns you, because I'm sure you have an idea of what we are going to be talking about. Although you have an idea, we're going to be delving deep into it for us to know more and know how to manage some of these things, or even check out some symptoms that are already happening to us that are indicating time for you to go to the hospital. Now, if you have any questions, do not forget to send them via the WhatsApp number. We will get to ask the doctor. Hi, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing great.
It's great to see you again.
Always great to see you too.
All right, so Doc, we always talk about stress. We've heard the word stress so many times. It's actually overused in English. It's actually overused even in other languages. So now, what does it really mean to be stressed? What is stress?
So thank you very much, Chris, and thank you for having me today. Yeah. Stress is something that is more of a natural mechanism for the body to survive. Mm-hmm. That was in the past. So in the past, let's say you are in the forest, and then let's say an animal pounces at you. Stress is supposed to make you survive.
Yeah. So is it like a survival instinct?
Thank you. So it's a survival mechanism. Mm-hmm. So what happens is immediately you see something that threatens you. Okay. The immediate body's reaction is to produce a cascade of hormones that will make you
move
to be able to, So assuming a lion comes here right now, nobody will tell you to start running. But where do you get the
I'll freeze though.
You freeze.
Hey, I'll freeze.
You freeze.
I said, lion, please don't come close.
Don't come close, yeah.
Oh, say good boy.
So that is it. So that was what stress was meant to do, to help us survive. So whenever we have stress, there are a cascade of hormones that take place. And our favorite hormone, cortisol, is one of them. Adrenaline is one of them. And when these hormones are secreted, it's supposed to, 1, increase your pulse rate, increase your blood pressure, make you more alert, make the muscles more stronger
Yeah.
for whatever.
So does cortisol do that? Because I thought it was only adrenaline that does that.
They are both stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. They work together.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because cortisol allows glucose to shift into the blood.
So it's not that bad after all.
If it's short term.
Okay. Okay.
So short term stress is something that helps you. Even if you are going to have a program like this, a lot of people, when they are going for public speaking
They're
and all
tensed.
that, they are tense.
That's a bit of stress.
That's stress, but you don't do public speaking. Thank God this program is once a week.
Yeah.
So. So you get it. So that's what it's supposed to mean. But if you want to define stress in very simple language, anytime you want to do something and then the input is less than the output, maybe your finances, you take 1,000 cedis and then your expenditure 1,005. Input 1,000 cedis. So you're going to be financially stressed. So stress can be anything. Or you want to do a program and then the time you have will not allow you to be able to. So anytime something you are supposed to do, that's the input, is less than the output or your expectations, stress is going to happen. Or when you're having conflicting ideas, you want to be a generous person, but you're also greedy. You're going to be stressed. You want to pass exam, but you're not willing to learn.
You'll be stressed on that.
So whenever you have conflicting ideas, so stress can come in
Any
several forms. And like you rightly said, we normalize it.
Yes, we do.
And we
it's
don't-
stress.
Yeah, it's stress. We don't have to
Like how we
normalize it.
normalize headache.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a headache.
But the headache could be from stress. And the headache could be a signal that the blood
Something's
pressure is high and you are not aware. And then,
Okay, that's another one. I'm going to put that in the books. I hope you're taking notes, students. All right, so now let's talk about our modern life, right? As we evolve, as the years pass by and generations pass by, things have become different. You understand? It used to be a slow-paced life before, but now I feel like everything is just fast. It's just let's move, let's make money, let's attain this, let's do that. So with all that, how stressful can it be for one, especially comparing where we are right now and the days of old?
So like you rightly said, things now are fast-paced. We want everything yesterday, not even today. So because of that, people are stressed in the sense that expectations are far higher than what we can do to achieve them. So people want to, people finish school, they don't even have jobs. They want to go and do masters. And after the masters, they want to go and do PhDs. This is all stress. People want to marry. People want to be financially successful. People want to own their own houses.
People want to be CEOs.
CEOs, they want to buy cars. But in the past, life was not like that.
It was very simple.
Very, very simple. We're using our Lexus.
Yes, or Legady's van.
Very good. But now everybody wants to drive. And when you put all these expectations on yourself and you're not able to achieve them, stress becomes something that is permanent and not acute. And when the body is in a continual state of stress, that is where the ramifications are not very good.
Right.
That is where the hormonal changes affect your health. So even though stress may be mental, what actually registers is the hormonal changes that end up with a host of medical conditions.
So what are those hosts of medical conditions that stress or constant stress can actually cause?
Okay, so let's start from the brain. Most people think stress is just the brain, but stress is not just the brain. Anytime you are stressed, the part of the brain that helps you to regulate your actions, regulate your decisions, is the prefrontal cortex, like we mentioned last week. But anytime you are stressed,
It seems like the prefrontal cortex is actually a very important part of the brain.
very good. Your reasoning, your judgment,
Is
focus,
all here.
it's all there.
Yeah.
So anything that has to do with decisions, prefrontal cortex. But whenever you are stressed, you shut down the prefrontal cortex. So you realize that when people are stressed, they can even go blank when they're on stage because they can't remember anything. So that's the prefrontal cortex. So decision making becomes very poor. Errors become more. That's prefrontal. Then there's something we call the amygdala. Amygdala is at the base of the brain.
Of the brain.
And that regulates emotions.
Oh, so the amygdala handles emotions. Prefrontal handles reasoning and thinking.
and all that.
Yeah.
And when you're stressed, you throw the amygdala overboard. So you start making emotional choices that are not right.
So you become emotionally stressed.
Stressed and unintelligent. You are supposed to be emotionally intelligent. Stress takes the emotional intelligence from you
Okay, so the first one is psychological.
Yeah.
And the other one is the emotional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's another part of the brain called the hippocampus.
Yeah.
The hippocampus
Yeah, I've seen
helps
that
you with memory. That is why when people freeze, they can't really remember anything.
So all that is happening in the brain.
In the brain. So that's just the brain. So all these things.
So it doesn't just affect one side.
No.
It affects the three most important
main-
parts
very
of the
good.
brain.
And that is where the hormones start flowing. The adrenaline and then the cortisol from the pituitary and then the adrenal glands. Very good. Now, when we move to the cardiovascular system, anytime you are stressed, your pulse rate goes up. And the pulse has a direct correlationship with your blood pressure. So it means that when the pulse goes up, the blood pressure
spikes.
So people are having high blood pressure now just because they are stressed, not because the genetics inherited from someone. So if we say genetics is loading the gun and lifestyle is pressing pulling the trigger.
Yeah, the trigger.
The stress is the trigger for most people for their high blood pressure. And some people don't even have genetic predispositions. But just because they are stressed, the pulse is up because of adrenaline, the blood pressure goes up. So that's the cardiovascular system. And when cortisol comes in, then we now move to the blood. Then the blood now produces excess sugar.
Oh,
like we mentioned.
Then we can now push to diabetes.
So
we've just connected, apart from the head, we've connected hyperpressure to diabetes.
Yeah, so people are having diabetes now just because they are stressed. And when diabetes goes up, the next thing is what? Cholesterol.
The cholesterol.
So people become overweight.
Yeah.
So belly fat is actually stress fat.
Yeah.
So people who are overly stressed end up gaining fat in places they shouldn't be gaining.
So would you say that also contributes, so all that stress actually contributes to binge eating?
Oh yeah. When people are stressed, they are...
they binge eat. Because I've seen people that binge eat, like, oh, if you ask them, why are you eating like this? I'm stressed.
Good. So that's it. So nutrition becomes a problem. And because you can't make good choices,
correct nutrition, you're just eating.
That's it. So we've talked about hypertension, we've talked about what? Diabetes.
We've
Then
talked about
next thing,
cholesterol.
the cholesterol. So you see how the cascade is. The next thing is your immunity.
Yeah, so your immunity drops, that means you can get
It's compromised.
anything, yeah.
So a lot of people are coming down with cancers now because of immunity. Young people, 27 years breast cancer, 25 years breast cancer, because the immunity is not doing its work. The body is overly stressed. It's in a constant state of what? Stress. Then we come to inflammation.
Yeah, the body inflames.
So when the body is also subjected to constant stress, inflammation also takes
place.
So people are coming with systemic lupus,
all
kinds of inflammatory, SLE, all kinds of inflammatory conditions because the body is overly stressed. And when you are stressed, it impacts the blood vessels. So the cholesterol that normally blocks vessels, if it's in the brain, stress makes it worse.
Yeah, so it blocks faster.
Inflammatory cytokines are pushed into the blood.
You're opening our eyes to so many things.
So stress is not something we should normalize. So once the inflammation comes in, then what happens is that plaques that are supposed to be lying quietly start misbehaving. Then they accumulate faster. Brain, stroke, heart attack. I just had a conversation with a friend from Tamale. 2 people died unceremoniously. One was in traffic. Cars were moving, ping. He was still there.
He's gone.
He was gone. Another person went to prepare for Salah and they went to buy the cow. He was driving and said, I'm not feeling well. His friend took over the steering. Then the friend realized that no, he wasn't moving. He was just motionless. Rushed into the hospital, he was gone.
So with the scenarios that you've given right now, it's just like they were doing nothing and they just died. They were just probably, one was driving and he just died. One went to buy something and he just died.
Yeah.
Do people know when they're stressed?
You should know because of all this cascade of things I told you. One, the brain fog was one of the things you mentioned, which you should know. When you're having brain fog, decisions become very
Well, Doc,
poor.
I didn't know when I had a brain fog. Honestly, I had a brain fog.
Okay.
I've said it on TV before that. I was actually going for a meeting. In the middle of the road, I was blank. I had to ask myself, where am I going to? Luckily, I was not driving. That would have been worse. So I was not driving. I was actually using a ride-hailing app. So I had to open the app and see the location. And and that reminded me, okay.
Wow.
And if you talk to me right now, before I turn or before I blink, I've forgotten what you said.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't know. So that's what I'm asking. Do people actually know can they put a name to it, or they have to go to the hospital first for the
Okay.
hospital to diagnose them, like how I was?
Very good. So that's why know your numbers is very important. And when it comes to the brain can only focus on one task at a time.
Yeah.
Multiple, at least 3 or 4. But
So is multitasking a good thing?
it's the worst thing you can do.
Uh-oh.
It's the worst thing you can do. You know, people
And
always
people
put
flex with it.
flex with
I'm
it.
a multitasker.
I'm a multitasker.
And they write it in
put
the
it on their
CV. I'm a
CV.
multitasker.
If I'm interviewing you and you tell me you are a multitasker, the
Problem
interview is
be.
gone.
Oh,
we
wow.
are done with the interview. You can't multitask.
Right.
If you want to know the damage of multitasking actually makes you counterproductive. Because when you shift focus from
You
one
just go
thing
round and round and
to
round.
another one, that breach interval is 1, loss of time, and then 2, you need a lot of time to refocus. Assuming you're doing task A, you left
And you
it, went to
finish it,
task
yeah.
B, you didn't finish. Then you go back to task B. Then you come back to task A. You have to ask yourself, where did I
stop?
Thank you. So multitasking is not something.
So you
people
have to
should
finish one thing
and
then move to the other.
because the brain I can only look at you and the camera. I can't
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so to know whether you are stressed or not, because stress has biochemical, neurological, and endocrine changes, like we mentioned, you need to check. I have a friend who was admitted yesterday at the hospital. So
Stress.
stressed, he never knew. He was having headache, and then the pocket doctors told him it was malaria for 2 weeks. Then 2 days ago, he called me. I said, come to the hospital. He came to the hospital, BP 201/110. He's currently admitted as we speak. Stress. So if you don't know your numbers, the numbers reveal
Thanks,
the
yeah.
ramifications
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all these things on your body. So your blood pressure can be checked, your pulse can be checked, your cholesterol can be checked, your sugar can be checked. That's one way of knowing the impact of stress on your body. And of course, if you are making poor choices, poor decisions, you are emotionally dysregulated or deregulated,
Yeah.
then it's possible stress is also
Right. So does it also affect your reproductive system?
definitely. Stress actually makes the menstrual pattern disrupted. So people who have what do you call it? Stress may not even have menses at all.
Yes.
So you realize that people who are very athletic in sports, they don't menstruate because they subject their body to so much physical stress.
Yeah, that
and
happened
because of
to
that,
me
they are
when
not.
I was lifting a lot and then going to
Whoa.
the gym.
I should have seen you, but then
It actually stopped.
it will stop
It
because
stopped. I was like, what?
good. Because you are becoming more
Am I
manly.
becoming Mary? Has the Holy Spirit come in me? What's happening?
You are becoming more manly.
Yeah.
You know, so stress actually disrupts your menses. It can actually stop it. So why are people having a lot of infertility now? And in the males, it's a stress. And then it also decreases libido.
Libido.
So you don't even have the edge. And in males, stress decreases your testosterone.
Testosterone, yeah.
So when the testosterone goes down, your libido goes down. And because of that, you don't even have the edge for sex. And stress, because it causes inflammation.
Yes.
And then causes mitochondrial dysfunction. The sperms that are supposed to wiggle
Alright,
their
yeah.
way, no energy for them.
Yeah,
They need a lot of energy to do that work.
Mhm.
No energy, so they don't get anywhere. So infertility.
Yeah, but now how are young people? Let's talk about young people. You've spoken about you know, people our age and all that coming to the hospital and people just collapsing and all that. Now I see a lot of young people also collapsing just like that. Would you say it's also linked to stress?
Yes. And it's all because of the cascade I mentioned. If young people are hyper-driven to be successful, young people, because of comparative analysis on social media, pressure, social media pressure. You see somebody posting a car, then you say you don't have one, you have to get one. That's pressure, unnecessary pressure. You get it? Somebody does his master's, you have not done yours. We are not on the same road or whatever. All these things pose a lot of challenges for young people. Your colleague is married, you are not married. Because of that, you are stressed. No.
Yeah.
Comparative.
Right.
So because of that, young people are subjected to a lot of stress.
What about the younger ones than the young ones we're talking about?
The kids.
I'm sure we're talking university level. Let's bring it down to the kids. It's an era of use of digital devices. You understand? And a lot of parents think that giving them the digital devices is a way of keeping them busy and out of trouble. Does that also affect them, the use of it?
Very much. It hyper-stimulates the brain. Hyperstimulation can cause the brain not to relax. So most of those young people, because we don't take the phones from them before they sleep, they go to sleep and then they cannot really sleep properly because and they like watching funny things.
Yeah.
Very funny cartoons, horror, stuff. So they sleep and
it
then
stays in their
it stays in their
head.
head. Even adults, when you watch a horror movie, you go to sleep and you are still replaying. How much more a child's brain that is
So
not
does it
well-
replay in their sleep?
Yes, it does. So they don't sleep well. They are not well rested. So they wake up the next. So some of them will wake up very early because of that. So they don't get good sleep. And when you don't sleep well, sleep actually leads to stress.
Yeah.
And then the stress hormones. And then stress leads to poor sleep. And poor sleep leads to stress. So we are getting a vicious cycle.
So now the stress links to the other things that we just mentioned.
So why are the children becoming obese? Because the
Yeah.
cortisol is up, cholesterol is up. That's it. So children are overly stressed. And we talked about the school system.
Yeah.
The 8 hours they are sitting, so they are not even physically active. They come home, they are given homework.
Yeah, because even with our smart watches, it tells you to stand up.
After
It tells you to stand up
after
every hour.
Yeah.
It tells you to walk around, take a walk.
But we don't.
Oh.
So because of that, people are getting overly.
Now, let's talk about the warning signs. I'm sure people are listening like, hey, this is serious. But now, what are some of the warning signs that people should look out for when it comes to stress and knowing that, hey, you know what, this is actually a lot now. It's time for me to see a doctor.
Good. So if we start from the brain where the whole cascade starts, you start having poor decisions, poor choices. You get irritable. Things that should
make you doc, irritable.
Things that should make you laugh. Maybe a friend cracks a joke, you are supposed to laugh. Then nah.
Then you're angry. Yeah, you take it personal.
Your heart comes to your throat. You blurt out easily. You are stressed.
Doc is relatable. I'm always on the edge.
So stress is knocking. Yeah.
Would you think that's what happens to African mothers? Is that why they always shout?
Of course, they are stressed now. When the man is not giving the chop money and all that.
And the children are stressing
them. Shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the brain level. Then when we come to the cardiovascular system, you start having palpitations because the heart rate, adrenaline, heart rate, palpitations are the next things that you start having. Then of course your blood pressure also starts going up.
Increasing.
So that's why knowing on your numbers is very important. You have to check. Then of course the sugar.
Yes.
So you have to be checking your sugar. The sugar goes up. Those are things you can check. And then also your cholesterol also. And when you start gaining unnecessary weight, even though you are not probably eating so much, then stress could be another factor.
So is that what we will say that the body is inflamed?
Inflammation will lead to that. And when inflammation is deregulated, immune system is not functioning properly, you start having things like common colds, sore throat.
And that's very dangerous because you can get any virus that comes
in. Viruses are supposed to be self-limiting. Our body is supposed to be able to defend ourself from viruses. But when you're stressed, they take a field day.
All right, so now let me take it a top notch a bit. Yeah, I know it's not something that we're discussing, but let me take it a top notch a bit. So now for people who say are HIV patients, now if the stress comes in, what does that do to them?
The immune compromisation becomes compounded. Compounded in the sense that, excuse me, HIV in itself is an immunocompromised state. And if you add stress to that, it means that you're adding another layer of what? Compromise to your body. So they become more compromised. So what happens then is that there are things we call opportunistic infections.
Oh, so they start getting different
tuberculosis,
stuff.
cancers, all kinds of blood dyscrasias.
So can it also happen to say probably a diabetic?
Of course.
So that means basically everybody's not supposed to be stressed.
Stress is not something we should entertain. But the modern world, just like modern life, modern food, modern disease, modern life now, modern stress, then we're having. So we're not supposed to be stressed because it's supposed to be something that's short-term for survival. But if it becomes something that is an undercurrent in our life, always there, like a baseline kind of, that's where all these things.
Right. So, Doc, what advice would you give us? Not me per se, but people who have very demanding jobs, people who their jobs take so much from them. What advice would you give in how to manage your life so you wouldn't get to the stage where you would find yourself crashing down, collapsing, going crazy from stress?
I think when it comes to productivity, there are a lot of principles we should apply. One thing I believe in is delegation. So if you are a top tier person, you should delegate. Delegation is very key. But we live in a country where people pride themselves in companies and say, oh, if Chris is not there, nothing happens. That's the most dangerous thing any employer should say about an employee. We should be able to delegate tasks to people so that we only focus on what is very necessary
important.
for us. There are also principles like the Pareto principle, where when you come to work, you should look at the 20% of things that will give you 80% of your results. Focus on that.
So everyone should have like a priority list. So you focus on the first one, then you come down
the rest you can, you know. And then multitasking, like we said, it only makes you very busy, but not productive. Those are things we should look at. And then we should also make time to rest. It's all because the stress is so constant and we are not resting. The body is not able to restore itself.
True.
When we rest, it helps us to be able to restore our biochemistry, our physiology and everything. Then we come back.
Doc, I had to learn the hard way. I learned the hard way. The period was not coming. I was not thinking. I was having panic attacks. I was having anxiety. I was having everything at the same time. Yeah. I almost thought like, okay, hey, someone is doing me in the village. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, but it was not village people. Not everything we were village people. It was not village people this time. Yeah. But it was just extreme stress. That was how the doctors actually explained it. Like, it's extreme stress. That's true. That I needed to take it easy.
Very true. And we shouldn't be...
What about, if you're going through stress, can we still exercise?
Exercise is actually something that helps you to, how will I call it, dilute stress.
Okay.
Exercise helps you to...
calm down.
Bring the stress down. And then exercise also helps all these cascades that we make. Exercise bring the stress hormones down. And then exercise even helps to improve your sleep. Because when you exercise, sleep is very...
All right, Doc, so what's the tip of the day? So let's check out our tip of the day. Our tip of the day is...
Let's see. So chronic stress, I always say you have a better voice. So
All right, chronic stress does not only affect the mind, it silently raises blood pressure, weakens immunity, disturbs sleep, damages the heart, and slowly breaks down the body.
So these are all the effects.
Wow, Doc. Anyway, how can people reach out to you?
So Solace Hospital is at Trade Fair. On your way from the Trade Fair towards La Palm, on your right, just 100 meters, we are there. Very magnificent building. Anything that concerns preventive health in this country, go nowhere. Come to us. Solace Hospital.
All right. Any number to call?
0531032106. That's our number.
All right.
Call us.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor in the house was Ebo Daniels, Dr. Ebo Daniels, who's the director of Solace Hospital at the Trade Fair, around the Trade Fair in Accra. And it's been a very, very important conversation that we had, because at the end of the day, stress has been normalized. And, you know, everybody goes through it. But at the end of the day, we need to also realize that it has dangers to it if it's not managed properly. My name is Chris Carter, and this has been Doctor in the House. See you next week.
All right, that was Chris Carter in the consulting room with Dr. Ebo Daniels on Doctor in the House. And I'd like to say a happy birthday to our very own Caleb Kuda. Happy birthday to you. I hope you enjoy your day and have a blast. This has been Breakfast Daily. Nana Tufo started the show, and I did this with Wahab. See you again tomorrow, 7 a.m. bright and early.